A streetlight hums above you, casting a soft glow on your path home. Each step feels familiar, but a whisper cuts through. One day, this walk ends, not the street, but you. It's not loud, just a quiet nudge. Do you stop to listen, or keep going? Death's a guest you don't invite, but it's there, sitting at every table. You chase goals, love fiercely, plan weekends, yet the clock ticks. Suppose a note slipped under your door, naming your final moment. Would you drop everything, call a friend, climb a hill, taste the air? Or would you shrug, saying there's time? The question's sharp. Why does that choice feel so far when it's woven into now? The light flickers, your shadow stretching long. Knowing you're finite could ignite you, write the letter, take the leap. But it's messy. The same truth can stall you, make coffee dates feel like sand slipping through. Here's the paradox. Life's vivid because it fades, yet you let hours drift. What holds you, fear of loss, or the hum of habit? You could bury the thought, let the streetlight guide you home. Or you could let it wake you, make this step pulse with intent. What matters, a laugh, a truth, a fleeting star? The tension pulls, you can't outrun the end, but you can fill the middle. Every choice is a stitch in a cloth you won't finish. So why do you pause at some threads and not others? The street's quiet now, the light's steady. You're here, walking, with no promise of tomorrow but the weight of today. The question lingers, if this were your last night, what's worth carrying? Will you hold it tight, make it sing? Or let it fade, another step unclaimed? The path curves ahead, yours for now. What's your next turn? Existential Despair. An old book lies open in your lap, its pages blank despite your stare. You flip through, hoping for words, but there's nothing, just paper and silence. A question creeps up. What if life's like this, all empty pages? Welcome to Existential Despair's quiet pull. You hustle through days, jobs, jokes, that perfect sandwich, but sometimes it feels like a stage with no script. Why keep turning pages? Do you scribble faster, new plans, new noise, or sit with the blankness, asking what it means? The book's heavy now, the silence louder. If there's no grand story, no cosmic author, no final chapter, you're free to write your own. But freedoms await when the world doesn't read along. Here's the twist, despair can bury you, or it can clear the clutter. If nothing matters, every mark you make is yours. So why's the pen so hard to lift? Maybe meaning's a tale you spin, knowing it won't last. You've felt it, a shared glance, a bold choice lights up the dark, even if it fades. The paradox stings, nothing counts, yet every line could. You could leave the book blank, call it truth. Or you could draw a star, a word, a squiggle, just because you're here. The silence pushes. What's worth writing when the pages turn to dust? The book's still open, your hand still. Despair's a shadow, but not the whole story. You've seen moments glow, helping a stranger, chasing a whim, yet the blankness waits. Why do you keep flipping, hoping for ink? Is it defiance, or just what humans do? The question hums, if the story's yours, what will it say? Will you write something, dare the void? Or let the pages stay empty, claiming wisdom? The attic creaks, the book waits. Tomorrow's another page, blank or not. Will you fill it, or let it pass? What's your next mark? The weight of regret. A ticket stub falls from your wallet, faded but sharp, a show you meant to see, a night you skipped. You hold it, the memory biting, you stayed home, safe, small. What do you do with regret's jagged edge? Regret's not just big losses, it's the quiet no's that echo. The chat you dodged, the dream you shelved. Suppose you stood at that ticket booth again. Would you buy it, step in, or turn away? The question cuts, what stops you now? The stub's worn, your fingers tight. Regret feels like a compass, pointing to a boulder but it's a path you can't retrace. You swear you'd leap today, risk more. Would you? That stub says you flinched once, could you again? Here's the paradox, regret chains you to yesterday, yet it can nudge you toward tomorrow. Why's it so heavy? Is it shame, or the ghost of what might have been? You could toss the stub, let the ache blur. Or let it teach, go now, speak now, live now. but courage wobbles, and regret's a patient shadow. What makes today different? The sting of then, or a spark of now? The paradox twists. You can't redo the choice, but you can choose again. Every day's a booth, a chance to say yes or no. So why do some yes stick in your throat? The wallet's back in your pocket, the stub's still there. Life's full of tickets, shows, talks, leaps, waiting for your hand. Regret's a mark, but not your whole map. Will you carry it quietly, let it weigh you down? Or use it to step lighter, bolder? The question lingers. What's worth risking now? Tomorrow's another booth, another stub. Will you grab it, or let it slip? The choice sits, sharp as ever. What will it show you? Innate selfishness. A loaf of bread sits on a shared table, one slice left, warm and soft. You're hungry, the group's distracted, and you could take it, no one blink. Your hand twitches. Do you grab it, or pass it? Here's the bite of innate selfishness. You're not a villain, you split bills, hold doors. But in small moments, you feel it, the urge to pick you first. It's not greed, it's a tug, like keeping the better view. Suppose everyone took their slice. Would the table clear, or just grow quiet? The bread's there, your stomach rumbling. You could claim it, you worked hard, you deserve it. But others sit, their plates sparse. Selfishness isn't just taking, it's losing the glow of sharing. Yet the pull's strong. Why? Maybe it's wired in, a reflex to guard what's yours. The paradox hums, giving feels warm, but taking feels sure. You pass the slice, and the table softens, nods, smiles. But what if you're left empty? The whisper says, look out for you. Still, you've seen it, one shared bite builds more than a full plate alone. So why's your hand still reaching? The paradox deepens, selfishness guards you, but shrinks you. You could hoard, stay safe. Or give, risk the ache for a fuller table. Why do you lean one way, not both? The bread's gone now, the moment passed. You're still you, selfish and kind, teetering between. The question's not just the slice, it's what drives you. Do you take to hold tight, or give to grow wide? Another table, another loaf waits. Will you reach, or let it sit? The choice lingers, sharp as hunger. What will you feed, yourself, or the room? The illusion of control. A river rushes past you, fast and wild, as you stand on its bank with a paddle. You plan your route, left, right, calm waters, but a current pulls, and your map's useless. How much do you really steer? Welcome to the illusion of control. You chart your life, career, loves, that evening jog, like it's your boat. But the water shifts, a call, a break, a plan drowned. Suppose your course was set by unseen tides. Are you the rower, or just the oar? The river roars, your grip tight. You fight for control, lists, choices, grit, but the current laughs. Here's the catch, clinging hard can capsize you, make every wave feel like defeat. Let go, and you might glide, but who risks that? The paradox churns, you pick your strokes, but not the stream. Yet there's something in the paddle. You can't tame the river, but you can lean, twist, ride it. Small moves shape the trip, even if the rapids mock. Control's a dream, but effort's real. Or is it? Maybe the fight's what keeps you afloat, a nod to the chaos. The paradox pulls, you're free to row, but bound to flow. Why do you keep planning when the water's wild? The bank's muddy, the river loud. You're still rowing, picking paths in a stream you don't own. The question hums, do you control the ride, or just how you brace? Tomorrow's another bend, another wave. Will you fight it, or dance with it? The paddle's yours, for now. What's your next stroke? The erosion of empathy. A bird chirps outside your window, caught in thorns, its wing bent. You hear it, then turn to your phone, work's calling. It's not cruel, just busy. But a question nags, when did you stop hearing the cry? Step into the erosion of empathy. You feel deeply, friends' tears, a sad song, but life's a rush, tasks, noise, your own knots, and care slips. Suppose you could chart it, see your heart shrink with each ignored chirp. Would you fight to hold it, or let it fade, blaming the day? The bird's there, the thorns sharp. You could help, free it, but it's messy, maybe it'll peck, maybe it's too late. Here's the rub, every turn away dims you, too. Empathy's not just a pang, it's stepping in, untangling thorns. Yet it's tough, and you're drained. Why? Maybe caring cuts too close, risks your own scars. The paradox stings, feeling others lifts you, but weighs you down. You've known it, a hand offered, a story heard sparks light. But the world's thorny, and empathy's frail. You choose, scroll on, or pause for the cry. Each choice carves who you'll be. The paradox twists, you're built to connect, but quick to close off. Why do some cries reach you, others not? The bird's quiet now, maybe gone. You're left with the question, when did your heart get so full, so shut? Another chirp, another thorn waits. Will you listen, or let the noise win? The choice sits, soft as a feather. What will you answer? The seduction of power. A mirror gleams in your room, showing you taller, sharper, in charge. You lean closer, and it whispers, you could rule, hearts, plans, everything. What would you trade to stay in that frame? The seduction of power beckons, smooth as glass. Power's a fire, who'd say no? You'd wield it well, you think, build bridges, right wrongs. But suppose you held that mirror a day. Would you share its shine, or tilt it to you? The question's not the glass, it's what's behind your eyes. The mirror's cool, its pull warm. Power's not just might, it's eyes on you, doors swinging wide. But here's the trap, it bends you. Friends blur, choices skew. You've seen it, someone rises, only to fall alone. Why chase it? Maybe it's the thrill of shaping the world, of being more. The paradox cuts, power frees you, yet cages you. It promises all, steals quiet, trust, ease, truth. You could drop the mirror, walk plain. Would you? Or does its glow feel like air, vital as breath? The paradox deepens, you crave it to stand tall, but it shifts your shadow. Why do you lean closer, not back? The room's still, the mirror waiting. You choose, step into its light, or turn away. Power's a flame, but not the only warmth. What do you want more, to lead, or to last? The question burns, sharp as ever. What will you reflect? The corrosion of innocence. A kite lies tangled in a tree, its colors bright but torn, a relic of your wilder days. You touch it, and the air shifts. When did the sky get so heavy? The corrosion of innocence slips in, soft as a breeze. You were fearless once, seeing heroes in every cloud, good in every hand. Life was a dash, not a maze. But cracks formed, lies, losses, truths too rough. Suppose you could reach that kite flying you. Would you warn them, or let them soar? The kite's caught, strings frayed. Innocence wasn't just naivety, it was trust, a spark for wonder. Losing it feels like waking, clearer, but colder. Here's the twist, you miss that lightness, but would you trade your scars for it? Sight builds you, yet it stings. Or does it free? The paradox hurts, innocence breaks so you can grow, but its pieces linger. You see the world sharp, flawed, raw, real. You could lean into gray, call it wise. Or chase color again, risk the wind. But that's tough, and the tree's easier to pass. The paradox pulls, you're stronger for it, but softer too. Why do some skies still call you back? The kite's still there, the day moving on. You're not that flyer, but you're not grounded yet. Will you climb for it, dare a new flight? Or walk on, letting gray paint the day? The question hums, light as air. What's your next lift? Unspoken loneliness. A lantern glows in a park, voices buzzing nearby, kids, couples, lives touching. You sit beneath it, close but apart, a hollow growing inside, not seen, not known. When did the light stop reaching you? Unspoken loneliness drifts in, faint as dusk. Loneliness isn't just solo nights, it's fading in a crowd. You nod, laugh, fit in, but sometimes no one truly sees you. Suppose you could hold up a sign, I'm here, know me. Would you, or would that alone make you pull back? The lantern's warm, the buzz loud. You could join in, share a truth, but what if it flops? Here's the catch, loneliness builds its own cage, each quiet moment a bar. Reaching out risks a blank stare, and stares cut deep. Why's it so hard? Maybe being known means showing your cracks. The paradox twists, you're wired for closeness, yet quick to hide. You've felt it, a real chat, a laugh that lands, warms you through. But those are rare, and loneliness waits, patient. You choose, stay silent, or toss a word to the glow. Each choice shapes who walks away. The paradox stings, you want the light, but fear its heat. Why do some voices reach you, others not? The lantern dims, the park thinning. You're still you, carrying that unseen weight. The question lingers, will you speak tomorrow, or let the hollow spread? Someone's out there, maybe fading too. Will you call, or stay in shadow? The choice hums, soft as light. What's your next step? The paradox of desire. A bell rings in the distance, clear and sharp, promising what you crave, love, wins, come. You chase it, steps sure, but the sound shifts, a new chime farther off. Why does desire keep moving? Here's its paradox, ringing and sly. You run for what pulls you, better days, tighter bonds, that one perfect spark. It's fuel, lighting your way. But suppose you caught the bell. Would you hold it, or hear another? The question digs, is desire your guide, or your loop? The chimes faint now, the path long. Desire's a dance, it lifts you, but trips you too. You've tasted it, a goal hit shines bright, then dulls, and you're chasing again. Here's the rub, what if wanting's the song, not ringing? That's cold when your hands are empty. The paradox burns, desire gives life shape, yet steals its ease. You could want less, try quiet. Would you? Or is the chase what makes you tick? You've seen it, a win, a touch, moves the ground, if only a beat. Yet the bell keeps ringing, pulling you on. The paradox deepens, you need it to move, but it keeps you restless. Why do you run when the sound's so fleeting? The night's still, the chime distant. You're here, chasing or pausing, heart still reaching. The question hums, do you want because it's life, or because it's all you know? Another bell will sound soon. Will you run, or listen where you stand? The choice rings, clear as ever. What's your next note? The Scar of Betrayal. A letter arrives, your name scrawled in familiar ink, but it's unsigned. You open it, and old words spill out, promises broken, trust snapped like a thread. The sting's still there, sharp as ever. What do you do with betrayal's lasting mark? Trust was your anchor, friends, loves, shared secrets, but someone cut the line, left you adrift. Suppose you could face them now, hold that letter up. Would you demand answers, forgive, or burn it? The question cuts, why does the scar still shape your steps? The ink's faded, but your grip's tight. Betrayal's not just a moment, it's a weight, coloring how you see every new face. You want to trust again, build bridges, but the scar whispers, careful, they'll break you. Here's the paradox, it hurts to hold on, but letting go risks another cut. Why's it so hard to drop the letter? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, wondering if you invited the knife. You could seal it away, let the scar harden. Or let it soften, dare to trust anew. But scars don't vanish, and forgiveness feels like giving up. The paradox twists, you're stronger for it, but wary too. Why do some hands still feel like traps? You felt trust bloom, new bonds, real talks, and yet the scar pulls back. What makes you reach, or recoil? The letters in your hand, the choice yours. Life's full of signatures waiting, some true, some false. Betrayal's a mark, but not your whole story. Will you carry it like armor, or let it fade to a story? The question lingers, what's worth trusting now? Tomorrow's another letter, another name. Will you open it, or let it lie? The choice sits, heavy as ink. What will it write? Existential isolation. A star blinks above, cold and alone in the black. You watch it, feet on solid ground, yet a chill grows, not from the night, but from inside. You're here, but apart, a universe unto yourself. When did you feel so singular? Existential isolation wraps around, quiet as fog. You live with others, laugh, work, share meals, but sometimes you're an island, thoughts locked in a vault no one opens. Suppose you could shout your core to the world. Would you, or would the echo scare you silent? The star's still there, distant as your own heart. Isolation's not just solitude, it's knowing no one fully gets you, maybe never will. You reach, texts, hugs, deep talks, but the gap stays. Here's the paradox: you're built to connect, yet doomed to be one. Why does the star feel closer than the crowd? You could hide in noise, parties, screens, plans, or face the quiet, ask what it means. You felt closeness, a friend's nod, a shared truth, but it fades, and you're alone again. The paradox deepens, you're whole alone, but empty too. Why do you keep reaching when the gap's so wide? Isolation's a truth, not a flaw, everyone's a star, burning solo. Yet you crave the bridge, the touch that says you're seen. The night's vast, the star unmoved. You're still you, separate but seeking. The question hums, is isolation your cage, or your sky? Tomorrow's another night, another star. Will you stare alone, or call to another light? The choice glows, faint but yours. What will you chase? The flaw of hubris. A crown glints in your palm, forged from your wins, clever moves, loud cheers. You wear it, head high, but a whisper hums, how far can you climb before you fall? The flaw of hubris beckons, shiny as pride. You're sharp, you solve, you lead, you shine. But sometimes you feel it, the edge where confidence tips to blind. Suppose you stood atop that peak, crown gleaming. Would you see the cracks, or only your glow? The question bites. What makes you think you're above the slip? The crown's heavy, your stride bold. Hubris isn't just arrogance, it's missing the fault lines, your own, the world's. You push, win the deal, claim the stage, but the higher you go, the shakier the ground. Here's the paradox: believing you're untouchable builds you up, but sets you to crack. Why do you lean into the shine? Maybe it's not just pride, it's fear of being small. You could set the crown down, step humble. But would you? You've tasted the fall, missteps, blank stares, yet the crown calls back. The paradox twists, you need belief to rise, but it blinds you too. Why do some heights feel worth the risk? The palms warm, the crown yours. Life's full of peaks waiting, some solid, some glass. Hubris is a spark, not your whole fire. Will you wear it loud, or check the ground? The question lingers, what's worth climbing for? Tomorrow's another slope, another shine. Will you race up, or pause to see? The choice weighs, sharp as gold. What will you carry? The allure of self-destruction. A match flares in your hand, its flame dancing close to a pile of dry leaves. You could drop it, watch it catch, burn what you've built. It's not sense, but it pulls. Why does ruin feel so alive? The allure of self-destruction hums, warm as the glow. You're steady, you plan, you grow, you mend. But in quiet moments, you feel it, the tug to unravel, skip the call, break the vow, let it fall. Suppose you lit the match, let it burn. Would you feel free, or just ash? The question cuts, what makes chaos sing? The flame's close, the leaves still. Self-destruction's not just collapse, it's a siren, promising release from weight, rules, hopes, you. You resist, build walls, keep safe, but the match stays lit. Here's the paradox: tearing down feels like power, but leaves you bare. Why does the flame tempt you? Maybe it's not ruin, it's escape, a way to hush the noise. You could douse it, choose the slow build. But would you? You felt the edge, late nights, sharp words, yet pulled back. The paradox deepens, you crave control, but crave its end too. Why do you hold the match so close? The heat's real, the choice yours. Life's full of leaves, plans, ties, dreams, some green, some dry. Destruction's a pulse, not your whole beat. Will you light it, or let it cool? The question lingers, what's worth saving now? Tomorrow's another spark, another pile. Will you burn, or build? The choice flickers, bright as ever. What will you hold? The burden of memory. A box rattles in your closet, stuffed with old photos, notes, moments you can't shake. You lift the lid, and a laugh, a fight, a tear spills out, heavy as stone. What do you do with memory's unyielding weight? Memories aren't just pictures, they're chains, tying you to what was, joys, cuts, all of it. Suppose you could burn the box, erase one day. Would you, or would the loss bite deeper? The question hums, why do some moments hold you so tight? The box is dusty, your fingers caught. Memory's not just past, it's now, shaping how you smile, flinch, choose. You want to move on, new days, new you, but the box pulls back. Here's the paradox, memories ground you, but sink you too. Why's it so hard to close the lid? Maybe it's not just then, it's who you are, built from those scraps. You could seal it, walk light. But would you? You felt memories shift, old pains soften, laughs brighten, yet they stay. The paradox twists, you need them to know you, but they blur what's next. Why do some snapshots stay so sharp? The closet's dim, the box yours. Life's full of moments piling, some warm, some thorns. Memory's a thread, not your whole cloth. Will you carry it heavy, or sift it light? The question lingers, what's worth keeping now? Tomorrow's another snap, another weight. Will you hold it, or let it settle? The choice sits, quiet as dust. What will you lift? The shadow of guilt. A mirror fogs as you stand before it, your breath uneven. You meet your eyes, and something shifts, a choice you made, a harm you caused, stares back. When did your reflection get so heavy? The shadow of guilt creeps in, soft as steam. Guilt's not just regret, it's a knot, tying you to what you did, words snapped, trust bent. Suppose you could undo that moment, wipe the mirror clean. Would you, or would truth still cloud it? The question bites, why does guilt cling so close? The glass clears, but the weight stays. Guilt's not just a pang, it's a lens, tinting how you walk, love, live. You want to shed it, say sorry, move on, but it lingers. Here's the paradox, guilt carves you better, but cuts you deep. Why's it so hard to look away? Maybe it's not just the act, it's you, fearing you're less than you hoped. You could hide from the mirror, let it fade. But would you? You felt release, owning it, mending it, yet the shadow trails. The paradox deepens, guilt traps you, but frees you too. Why do some wrongs weigh more than others? The steam's gone, the mirror yours. Life's full of reflections, some kind, some stark. Guilt's a mark, not your whole face. Will you face it, or turn the light off? The question lingers, what's worth fixing now? Tomorrow's another glance, another truth. Will you meet it, or look away? The choice hums, clear as glass. What will you see? Chasing an elusive ideal. A painting hangs in your mind, perfect, flawless lines, colors that sing. You reach for it, better you, better life, but it shifts, always a stroke away. Why does the ideal keep slipping? Chasing an elusive ideal glows, bright as a dream. You strive, sharper skills, truer bonds, that one right moment. It's fuel, pushing you up. But suppose you touched it, held the frame. Would it shine, or blur? The question cuts, is the ideal your star, or your snare? The painting's vivid, your hands messy. Ideals aren't just goals, they're ghosts, promising enough if you just try harder. You chase, work late, fix flaws, but the canvas moves. Here's the paradox, perfection drives you, but breaks you too. Why do you keep painting? Maybe it's not the art, it's you, craving a shape that fits. You could drop the brush, live rough. But would you? You felt close, a win, a spark feels perfect, then it fades. The paradox twists, you need the ideal to grow, but it shrinks you too. Why do some lines matter more than others? The mind's quiet, the painting yours. Life's full of canvases, some bold, some faint. The ideal's a light, not your whole sky. Will you chase it blind, or see what's here? The question lingers, what's worth drawing now? Tomorrow's another stroke, another dream. Will you reach, or rest in the mess? The choice hums, sharp as paint. What will you create? The ache of unfulfilled longing. A song hums on the radio, half heard, tugging at a wish you can't name, love, place, something gone. You lean in, but it's out of reach, always was. When did wanting hurt so much? The ache of unfulfilled longing settles, soft as a tune. Longing's not just dreams, it's a pull, deep, for what you'll never hold. You live full, friends, plans, laughs, but the song plays, and you're hollow. Suppose you could grab it, live it. Would it fill you, or shift to new notes? The question bites. Why does the ache stay so loud? The radio's faint, your heart loud. Longing's not just want, it's a shape, molding how you move, hope, wait. You try new goals, new loves, but the tune lingers. Here's the paradox. Longing lifts you, but leaves you raw. Why's it so hard to change the station? Maybe it's not just the wish, it's you, tied to what could have been. You could mute it, chase what's here. But would you? You felt it, a near miss, a close call warms you, then it fades. The paradox deepens, longing gives life color, but grays it too. Why do some songs hit harder? The dial's still, the song yours. Life's full of melodies, some caught, some lost. Longing's a note, not your whole score. Will you chase it, or hear what's playing? The question lingers. What's worth wanting now? Tomorrow's another tune, another pull. Will you reach, or let it play? The choice sings, clear as ever. What will you hear? The Tempest of Anger. A spark flares in your chest, hot and fast, as a word, a slight, lands wrong. You clench, ready to snap, lash out, set it right. Why does rage feel so alive? The Tempest of Anger roars, loud as a storm. You're calm mostly, jokes, plans, easy nods, but sometimes it surges, a wave you can't hold. Suppose you let it loose, let it burn. Would it clear the air, or just char it? The question cuts. What makes you grip the spark? The heat's real, your pulse racing. Anger's not just heat, it's a blade, cutting you as much as them, words you'll rue, ties you'll break. You want to cool, breathe, walk away, but the spark begs to flare. Here's the paradox. Anger feels like strength, but leaves you weak. Why's it so hard to let it die? Maybe it's not just the slight, it's you, guarding what's yours, proving you're here. You could fan it, let it blaze. But would you? You've felt it, calm words, a pause, shift the tide, yet the spark waits. The paradox twists, anger rights you, but wrongs you too. Why do some sparks catch so fast? The air's still, the heat yours. Life's full of slights, some small, some deep. Anger's a gust, not your whole wind. Will you storm, or seek the calm? The question lingers. What's worth fighting now? Tomorrow's another spark, another wave. Will you flare, or ease it down? The choice hums, sharp as fire. What will you burn? The dissonance of identity. A mask hangs on your wall, half you, half strange, smiling, sure, but not all true. You wear it daily, but it chafes, and a question stirs. Who's really looking back? The dissonance of identity hums, sly as a shadow. You're you, quirks, loves, that odd laugh, but sometimes you split, the you for them, the you alone. Suppose you could drop the mask, show the raw. Would you, or would it feel too bare? The question bites. Why don't you fit your own skin? The mask's smooth, your heart not. Identity's not just a name, it's a tangle, roles you play, truths you hide. You want to be one, clear, whole, but the pieces clash. Here's the paradox. You're free to be you, but bound to what others see. Why's it so hard to choose one face? Maybe it's not just the mask, it's you, unsure which piece is home. You could keep it on, blend in. But would you? You've felt it, a true moment, a real laugh aligns you, then it shifts. The paradox deepens, you need the mask to move, but it traps you too. Why do some selves feel truer? The wall's still, the mask yours. Life's full of mirrors, some kind, some warped. Identity's a thread, not your whole weave. Will you wear it, or dare the raw? The question lingers. What's worth showing now? Tomorrow's another face, another truth. Will you hide, or step clear? The choice hums, sharp as glass. What will you be? The dark lure of revenge. A sharp note slips under your door, words jagged with an old wrong, someone's hurt you, deep and deliberate. Your pulse spikes, and a fire kindles. You could strike back, make them feel the cut. Why does payback feel so sweet? The dark lure of revenge coils, hot as a spark. You're fair, you forgive, you move on, but now your mind spins, plotting their regret. Suppose you could even the score, no trace. Would you act, or let it cool? The question burns. What makes you crave the sting? The note's crumpled, but its weight lingers. Revenge isn't just justice, it's a hunger, promising balance but feeding chaos. You imagine their fall, words, deeds, a perfect hit, yet the fire grows, not shrinks. Here's the paradox. Revenge feels like power, but chains you to the wound. Why is it so hard to drop the note? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, needing to prove you're not small. You could plot on, let the spark blaze. But would you? You've seen vengeance sour, satisfaction fades, leaving ash. The paradox twists, you seek closure, but open new scars. Why does the fire pull when you know it burns you too? Life's full of wrongs, some raw, some old. Revenge is a path, not your whole map. The note's in your hand, the choice sharp. Will you fan the flame, or let it die? The question lingers. What's worth your peace? Tomorrow's another slight, another spark. Will you strike, or walk away? The choice crackles, fierce as ever. What will you fuel? Revenge tempts with control, but it's a loop, each hit calls for another. You've felt the urge fade, a step back, a breath shifts the air. Yet the note's still there, daring you to act. What stops you, or pulls you on? Is it strength, or just the weight of hurt? The door's shut, but the fire's yours. What will you carry forward, heat or calm? Silent suffering. A clock ticks in your room, steady, while a storm brews inside, grief, fear, a weight no one sees. You smile, nod, keep it locked, but it churns. When did you learn to hide the rain? Silent suffering folds around, heavy as dusk. You're open, you share joys, plans, but some pains stay caged, too raw for light. Suppose you could show it, let the storm spill. Would you, or would the flood scare you shut? The question aches, why do you carry it alone? The clock's loud, your heart louder. Suffering's not just pain, it's the quiet, the mask you wear to keep the world at ease. You move, work, laugh, but the storm presses, unseen. Here's the paradox. Hiding protects you, but isolates you too. Why's it so hard to crack the cage? Maybe it's not just pride, it's fear no one will hold the rein. You could keep silent, let it build. But would you? You've felt relief, a shared tear. A true word eases the weight, yet the cage rebuilds. The paradox deepens, silence saves face, but steals breath. Why do some storms stay so secret? Life's full of rains, some soft, some torrents. Suffering's a shadow, not your whole sky. The clock ticks on, the choice yours. Will you lock it tighter, or let it pour? The question lingers, what's worth bearing? Tomorrow's another storm, another mask. Will you hide, or speak its name? The choice hums, soft as tears. What will you release? The storm's yours, but so's the calm. You've known moments of release, a friend's ear, a quiet cry shifts the air, yet silence pulls back, familiar, safe. What makes you hold it, or let it go? Is it strength, or just habit's grip? The room's still, but you're not. What will you carry, weight, or truth? The tyranny of the ego. A spotlight burns above you, warm, yours alone. You stand tall, sure you're right, best plan, sharpest word. But a whisper hums, what if you're blind to the dark? The tyranny of the ego glows, slick as pride. You're humble, you listen, you bend, but sometimes you feel it, the need to be first, seen, correct. Suppose you could dim the light, share it. Would you, or does it feel too good? The question bites, why does your shine matter so much? The spot's hot, your stance firm. Ego's not just vanity, it's a wall, blocking others' light to keep yours bright. You push, win the point, take the lead, but the glow isolates. Here's the paradox, ego lifts you, but traps you too. Why's it so hard to step aside? Maybe it's not just pride, it's fear of fading, of being less. You could soften, let others shine. But would you? You've felt the shift, a nod, a shared win frees you, yet the spotlight calls. The paradox twists, you need ego to stand, but it narrows your view. Why do you cling when it blinds? Life's full of stages, some loud, some shared. Ego's a spark, not your whole flame. The light's yours, the choice sharp. Will you hog it, or spread it? The question lingers, what's worth proving? Tomorrow's another stage, another glow. Will you claim it, or share the beam? The choice hums, bright as ever. What will you light? The stage is yours, but so's the dark. You've known moments of balance, listening, lifting others feels big, yet ego pulls, loud, sure. What makes you step back, or forward? Is it wisdom, or just a pause? The spotlight waits. What will you show? The plague of envy. A window frames your neighbor's life, new car, warm laughs, ease you don't have. You look, and a thorn twists inside, sharp, unasked. Why does their shine dim yours? The plague of envy creeps in, green as glass. You're content, you cheer, you build, but sometimes it stabs, their win feels like your loss. Suppose you could trade places, take their glow. Would you, or would it sour? The question cuts, what makes you ache for theirs? The window's clear, your heart not. Envy's not just want, it's a lens, warping what you see, your life, theirs, all of it. You try, focus on you, count blessings, but the thorn digs. Here's the paradox, envy drives you to grow, but shrinks you too. Why's it so hard to look away? Maybe it's not just their shine, it's you, fearing you're not enough. You could stew, let it fester. But would you? You felt freedom, praising, pushing on lifts you, yet envy whispers back. The paradox deepens, you want more, but it steals what's yours. Why do some winds hurt more than others? Life's full of windows, some bright, some yours. Envy's a thorn, not your whole root. The glass is still, the choice sharp. Will you stare, or turn inward? The question lingers, what's worth wanting? Tomorrow's another view, another stab. Will you covet, or claim your own? The choice hums, clear as light. What will you see? The window's just glass, but the thorn's yours. You've known moments of peace, building, cheering feels full, yet envy pulls, sharp, sly. What makes you look, or look away? Is it strength, or just a shift? The frame waits. What will you grow? The paradox of altruism. A coin sits in your palm, enough for one last meal, but a stranger's eyes meet yours, hungry, frayed. You could give it, ease their day. Why does it feel so right, yet so hard? The paradox of altruism hums, warm as a choice. You're kind, you share, you lift, but sometimes you pause, giving costs, and you're stretched thin. Suppose you handed it over, no thanks. Would you glow, or regret? The question bites, what makes you give when it stings? The coin's heavy, their need clear. Altruism's not just good, it's a mirror, showing your heart, and its limits. You want to help, feed, heal, hold, but your own needs tug back. Here's the paradox, giving fills you, but empties you too. Why's it so hard to let go? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, hiding your own cracks in their light. You could keep it, stay safe. But would you? You felt the lift, a gift, a hand sparks joy, yet the cost lingers. The paradox twists, you give to feel whole, but lose a piece. Why do some gifts weigh more? Life's full of coins, some spare, some dear. Altruism's a thread, not your whole weave. The palm's open, the choice yours. Will you give, or hold tight? The question lingers, what's worth sharing? Tomorrow's another need, another coin. Will you offer, or keep it close? The choice hums, soft as hunger. What will you spare? The stranger's still there, but so's your own want. You've known giving's glow, helping, healing feels big, yet the tug of self pulls back. What makes you choose them, or you? Is it love, or just a moment's grace? The hand waits. What will you pass? The fracture of trust. A key dangles from your chain, once shared, now yours alone. Someone broke the lock, left it jagged. You hold it, and the cut returns, cold and sharp. What do you do with trust's broken edge? Trust was your bridge, friends, vows, open doors, but it cracked, and you fell. Suppose you could mend it, hand the key back. Would you, or does the fracture feel safer? The question cuts, Why is it so hard to rebuild? The key's worn, your grip tight. Trust's not just belief, it's a bond, fragile, tying you to others until it snaps. You want to cross again, love, lean, share, but the crack holds you back. Here's the paradox: trust opens you, but risks you too. Why does the key feel so heavy? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, guarding what's left. You could lock it away, stay whole. But would you? You felt trust grow, a new bond, a kept word warms, yet the fracture lingers. The paradox deepens: you need trust to live, but it wounds you too. Why do some breaks stay so raw? Life's full of keys, some fit, some cut. Trust's a link, not your whole chain. The chain's still, the choice yours. Will you try it, or keep it shut? The question lingers: what's worth opening? Tomorrow's another lock, another chance. Will you turn it, or hold it close? The choice hums, sharp as metal. What will you free? The keys just steel, but the break's yours. You've known trust's warmth, honest eyes, kept vows, yet the crack pulls, wary, sure. What makes you reach, or pull back? Is it hope, or just time's nudge? The chain waits. What will you unlock? Inescapable self-doubt. A mirror leans in your hall, catching you mid-step, eyes unsure, a flicker of not enough. You pause, and a voice hums: are you doing this right? When did you start questioning you? Inescapable self-doubt weaves in, sly as a shade. You're capable, you work, you laugh, you grow, but sometimes it creeps, the nag that you're falling short. Suppose you could silence it, see only your shine. Would you, or would the quiet feel wrong? The question bites: why does doubt stick so close? The mirror's still, your reflection soft. Doubt's not just fear, it's a tide, washing over winds, job done, love given, leaving you small. You push, try harder, prove more, but it ebbs back. Here's the paradox: doubt sharpens you, but dulls you too. Why's it so hard to trust your step? Maybe it's not just you, it's the world, loud with measures you can't meet. You could hide from the glass, fake bold. But would you? You've felt clarity, a nod, a wind quiets the voice, yet doubt whispers on. The paradox twists: you need it to check, but it traps you too. Why do some steps feel so shaky? Life's full of mirrors, some true, some warped. Doubt's a hum, not your whole song. The hall's quiet, the choice yours. Will you question, or claim your stride? The question lingers: what's worth believing? Tomorrow's another glance, another voice. Will you doubt, or stand tall? The choice hums, clear as glass. What will you see? The mirror's just there, but the voice is yours. You've known moments of sure, a task nailed, a laugh real, yet doubt pulls, soft, sure. What makes you pause, or push on? Is it truth, or just habit's weight? The frame waits. What will you trust? The lure of the forbidden. A gate creaks in the dusk, half open, leading to a path you're told to skip: danger, thrill, the unknown. Your pulse jumps, drawn to the other side. Why does the band pull so hard? The lure of the forbidden hums, sharp as a dare. You're good, you follow rules, keep safe, but sometimes it calls, the rush of crossing lines: sneak, taste, go. Suppose you stepped through, no eyes on you. Would you run, or turn back? The question cuts: what makes the gate so bright? The creak's loud, the path dark. Forbidden's not just wrong, it's a spark, lighting up what's dull, routine, shoulds, same. You resist, stay straight, stay known, but the gate sways. Here's the paradox: breaking rules feels free, but binds you too. Why's it so hard to stay put? Maybe it's not just thrill, it's you, craving proof you're alive. You could lock it, walk safe. But would you? You felt the rush, a secret kept, a line cross sparks life, yet it fades. The paradox deepens: you want the leap, but fear the fall. Why do some gates shine brighter? Life's full of paths, some open, some barred. Forbidden's a pull, not your whole road. The dusk's still, the choice yours. Will you cross, or hold back? The question lingers: what's worth risking? Tomorrow's another gate, another creak. Will you step, or stay safe? The choice hums, sharp as night. What will you chase? The gate's just wood, but the pull's yours. You've known restraint, right choices, calm steps, yet the forbidden calls, wild, free. What makes you pause, or push through? Is it fire, or just a flicker's dare? The path waits. What will you walk? The cynicism of experience. A lantern swings in your hand, casting light on a road you've walked before, bumps, turns, all known. You smirk, sure no surprise waits. When did trust turn to a shrug? The cynicism of experience settles, cool as ash. You're wise, you learn, you grow, but sometimes it hardens. Every smile hides a catch, every hope a crack. Suppose you could walk blind, expect good. Would you, or does knowing feel better? The question bites, why's the light so dim? The lantern steady, the road worn. Cynicism's not just doubt, it's armor, shielding you from letdowns. Friends fade, plans flop. You move, plan tight, guard up, but the smirk stays. Here's the paradox, experience saves you, but blinds you too. Why's it so hard to hope again? Maybe it's not just scars, it's you, tired of falling. You could drop the armor, risk a spark. But would you? You've felt wonder, a kind act, a win surprises, yet cynicism creeps back. The paradox twists, you see clear, but miss the glow. Why do some lessons gray the world? Life's full of roads, some rough, some new. Cynicism's a lens, not your whole view. The light's yours, the choice sharp. Will you guard it, or let it shine? The question lingers, what's worth expecting? Tomorrow's another step, another turn. Will you smirk, or look up? The choice hums, clear as dawn. What will you see? The lantern's just glass, but the ash is yours. You've known hope's lift, fresh starts, real smiles, yet cynicism pulls, safe, sure. What makes you hold it, or let it go? Is it truth, or just time's weight? The road waits. What will you walk? The trap of complacency. A chair creaks under you, soft, familiar, holding you just fine. The room's warm, the view same, good enough, no need to move. Why push when it's okay? The trap of complacency hums, cozy as a rut. You're driven, you aim, you climb, but sometimes you sink. This job, this life, it's fine, why stir? Suppose you stood, chased more. Would you, or does the chair feel too good? The question cuts, what keeps you still? The creak soft, the room safe. Complacency's not just lazy, it's a lull, whispering you've got enough. Why risk, why reach? You think, new goals, new spark, but the chair holds. Here's the paradox, staying feels easy, but starves you too. Why's it so hard to rise? Maybe it's not just comfort, it's fear of failing the leap. You could stay put, keep the warm. But would you? You felt the pull, a new step, a bold move wakes you, yet the chair calls back. The paradox deepens, you want growth, but crave the known. Why do some ruts feel like home? Life's full of seats, some soft, some sharp. Complacency's a pause, not your whole ride. The room's still, the choice yours. Will you sink, or stand? The question lingers, what's worth chasing? Tomorrow's another chair, another creak. Will you rest, or run? The choice hums, clear as light. What will you seek? The chair's just wood, but the rut's yours. You've known drive, new paths, real wins, yet complacency pulls, warm, sly. What makes you stay, or break free? Is it fire, or just a moment's nerve? The floor waits. What will you walk? The distortion of reality. A mirror ripples in your room, showing you, but not quite. The eyes are yours, but the edges blur, shaped by old fears, sharp memories. When did the world start bending? The distortion of reality hums, slick as a dream. You navigate life, jobs, chats, sunsets, but sometimes it shifts, a slight feels huge, a win feels fake. Suppose you could see clear, no warp. Would you, or does the blur feel safe? The question bites, why do you trust the ripple? The mirror's still, your gaze caught. Reality's not just out there, it's in you, tinted by scars, betrayals, doubts, joys gone sour. You move, plan, love, but the lens twists, makes foes of friends, traps of doors. Here's the paradox: your truth grounds you, but tricks you too. Why's it so hard to wipe the glass? Maybe it's not just the past, it's you, clinging to a story that fits. You could stare harder, seek the raw. But would you? You felt clarity, a moment, a truth aligns the world, yet the ripple returns. The paradox deepens, you need your lens to see, but it blinds you too. Why do some distortions stick so tight? Life's full of mirrors, some kind, some cruel. Distortion's a filter, not your whole view. The room's quiet, the choice yours. Will you trust the blur, or chase the clear? The question lingers, what's worth seeing? Tomorrow's another reflection, another twist. Will you lean in, or look past? The choice hums, sharp as light. What will you trust? The mirror's just glass, but the warp's yours. You've known true sights, real smiles, bare facts, yet distortion pulls, soft, sure. What makes you hold it, or let it go? Is it comfort, or just habit's haze? The frame waits. What will you see? The curse of perfectionism. A canvas leans in your corner, half-painted, waiting for the perfect stroke. You pause, brush poised, but it's not right, not yet. When did good enough stop being enough? The curse of perfectionism hums, tight as a knot. You're driven, you craft, you polish, but sometimes it grips, nothing's done till it's flawless. Suppose you could finish it, flaws and all. Would you, or does the ideal hold too dear? The question cuts, why does perfect feel so vital? The canvas waits, your hand still. Perfection's not just care, it's a chain, locking you from done, work, words, you. You push, tweak, redo, but the ideal slips, always one shade off. Here's the paradox, striving lifts you, but stalls you too. Why's it so hard to let it be? Maybe it's not just the art, it's you, tying worth to a line no one sees. You could smudge it, call it art. But would you? You felt release, a rough draft, a real laugh frees you, yet the curse pulls back. The paradox twists, you chase perfect to shine, but it dims you too. Why do some strokes matter so much? Life's full of canvases, some bold, some half. Perfection's a spark, not your whole flame. The corners dim, the choice yours. Will you paint, or wait for right? The question lingers, what's worth making? Tomorrow's another brush, another try. Will you finish, or hold back? The choice hums, clear as paint. What will you draw? The canvas is just cloth, but the knot's yours. You've known ease, messy wins, true tries, yet perfection pulls, sharp, sly. What makes you pause, or push on? Is it love, or just fear's grip? The brush waits. What will you mark? The void of apathy. A breeze drifts through your window, cool, carrying life, birds, laughter, time. You sit, unmoved, the world a hum you don't join. When did you stop feeling the air? The void of apathy settles, gray as a sigh. You're alive, you work, you nod, but sometimes it fades. Nothing pulls, nothing stings. Suppose you could care again, dive in. Would you, or does the quiet feel better? The question bites, why's the breeze so faint? The window's open, your heart not. Apathy's not just boredom, it's a fog, dulling joy, pain, all of it, friends, dreams, even you. You try, plan, smile, but the void yawns, heavy. Here's the paradox, not caring frees you, but traps you too. Why's it so hard to rise? Maybe it's not just numb, it's you, hiding from what cuts too deep. You could stay still, let it pass. But would you? You felt sparks, a song, a kind word wakes you, yet the fog rolls back. The paradox deepens, you want to feel, but fear the weight. Why do some days stay so blank? Life's full of breezes, some warm, some sharp. Apathy's a pause, not your whole pulse. The room's still, the choice yours. Will you shut it, or lean out? The question lingers, what's worth feeling? Tomorrow's another gust, another hum. Will you stir, or sink deeper? The choice hums, soft as air. What will you chase? The window's just glass, but the fog's yours. You've known life's pull, real laughs, true fights, yet apathy creeps, slow, sure. What makes you stay, or break free? Is it hope, or just a moment's nerve? The breeze waits. What will you breathe? The seduction of nihilism. A clock spins backward in your hand, each tick erasing meaning, plans, loves, you. It's not sad, just light, and a voice hums. Why care if it's all dust? The seduction of nihilism glows, free as a fall. You're engaged, you build, you dream, but sometimes it calls. Nothing matters, so why try? Suppose you leaned in, let it all go. Would you float, or crash? The question cuts. Why does nothing feel so bright? The clock's cold, your pulse warm. Nihilism's not just despair, it's a release, untethering you from shoulds, win, love, last. You move, work, laugh, but the voice tempts, it's all fleeting, so rest. Here's the paradox. Nothing frees you, but voids you too. Why's it so hard to turn away? Maybe it's not just truth, it's you, tired of holding weight. You could drop it all, call it wise. But would you? You felt meaning, a touch, a goal grounds you, yet the tick pulls back. The paradox twists, you need purpose, but crave its end. Why does dust shine so sharp? Life's full of clocks, some loud, some still. Nihilism's a hum, not your whole song. The hand's yours, the choice sharp. Will you wind it, or let it stop? The question lingers. What's worth keeping? Tomorrow's another tick, another truth. Will you hold it, or let it spin? The choice hums, clear as time. What will you mark? The clock's just metal, but the void's yours. You've known life's weight, real ties, true fights, yet nihilism pulls, soft, sly. What makes you cling, or drift off? Is it fire, or just ease's call? The tick waits. What will you count? The reflection of self-loathing. A shadow trails you in the dusk, not yours but close, harsh, whispering you're less, always less. You walk faster, but it sticks, cold as truth. When did you start believing it? The reflection of self-loathing hums, sharp as a blade. You're strong, you create, you connect, but sometimes it cuts. You're not enough, never will be. Suppose you could silence it, see only light. Would you, or does the shadow feel true? The question bites. Why do you hold the knife? The dusk deepens, the shadow near. Self-loathing's not just doubt, it's a mirror, twisting your wins, love given, work done, into flaws. You try, ye smile, push, but it sneers, heavy. Here's the paradox. Hating you hurts, but feels honest too. Why's it so hard to drop the blade? Maybe it's not just you, it's the world, loud with bars you can't clear. You could hide, fake bright. But would you? You felt worth, a kind word, a wind softens it, yet the shadow creeps. The paradox twists, you want to love you, but trust the hate. Why do some cuts stay so deep? Life's full of shadows, some yours, some lies. Self-loathing's a mark, not your whole shape. The path's quiet, the choice yours. Will you fight it, or let it lead? The question lingers. What's worth seeing? Tomorrow's another dusk, another shade. Will you run, or face it? The choice hums, clear as night. What will you keep? The shadow's just air, but the blade's yours. You've known your shine, real deeds, true loves, yet loathing pulls, slow, sure. What makes you hold it, or let it fall? Is it truth, or just pain's grip? The dusk waits. What will you walk? The maze of overthinking. A notebook spills open, your thoughts a tangle, plans, fears, what-ifs looping tight. You write, but the line's not, pulling you deeper. When did your mind become a labyrinth? The maze of overthinking hums, tight as a thread. You're sharp, you solve, you dream, but sometimes it traps, every choice spins, endless paths, no exit. Suppose you could quiet it, pick one road. Would you, or does the maze feel safe? The question bites. Why do you keep circling? The pages crinkle, your pen still. Overthinking's not just worry, it's a web, catching joy, loves, wins, in ifs and maybes. You try, act, breathe, but the threads pull, heavy. Here's the paradox. Thinking clears you, but clouds you too. Why's it so hard to stop? Maybe it's not just doubt, It's you, seeking control in chaos. You could close it, choose now. But would you? You've felt ease, a bold step, a laugh cuts through, yet the maze rebuilds. The paradox twists, you need thought to live, but it stalls you too. Why do some loops grip so tight? Life's full of pages, some clear, some scrawled. Overthinking's a line, not your whole book. The desk still, the choice yours. Will you write or shut it? The question lingers, what's worth solving? Tomorrow's another thought, another knot. Will you spin or step free? The choice hums, sharp as ink. What will you trace? The notebook's just paper, but the maze is yours. You've known clarity, real moves, true joys, yet overthinking pulls, soft, sure. What makes you loop or break out? Is it fear or just mind's hum? The pen waits. What will you draw? The inescapable pain of change. A door creaks half open, light spilling from a room you don't know. You step toward it, but your chest tightens, new sharp, old's warm. Why does shifting hurt so much? The inescapable pain of change hums, raw as a cut. You're brave, you grow, you adapt, but sometimes it stings. Every turn, job, home, you bites before it heals. Suppose you could stay put, fixed forever. Would you, or does the light pull too? The question cuts, why do you fear the step? The door's ajar, the light bright. Change is not just new, it's loss, stripping what was, friends, ease, sure you, for what might be. You push, try, shift, but the pang lingers, heavy. Here's the paradox, change builds you, but breaks you too. Why's it so hard to cross? Maybe it's not just unknown, it's you, mourning what you leave. You could stay back, hold tight. But would you? You've felt growth, a new path, a truth strengthens, yet the pain echoes. The paradox twists, you need change to live, but it wounds you too. Why do some doors feel so heavy? Life's full of thresholds, some warm, some cold. Change is a spark, not your whole fire. The hall's still, the choice yours. Will you cross, or cling back? The question lingers, what's worth risking? Tomorrow's another door, another light. Will you step, or pause? The choice hums, clear as dawn. What will you walk? The door's just wood, but the pang's yours. You've known changes lift, new loves, bold winds, yet pain pulls, sharp, sure. What makes you move, or hold still? Is it hope, or just time's nudge? The light waits. What will you enter? The weight of social conformity. A crowd hums around you, steps in sync, eyes forward, same shirt, same nod. You walk with them, but your heart skips, is this you, or their tune? When did fitting in get so heavy? The weight of social conformity hums, tight as a cord. You're free, you choose, you shine, but sometimes it pulls, blend in, don't rock, be us. Suppose you broke step, danced alone. Would you, or does the rhythm hold too dear? The question bites, why do you follow their beat? The crowd's loud, your pulse soft. Conformity's not just rules, it's a tide, smoothing you to fit, talk right, act right, stay safe. You try, stand out, be you, but the hum pulls back. Here's the paradox, blending binds you, but frees you too. Why's it so hard to stray? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, craving the nod, the ease of same. You could break free, step wild. But would you? You've felt your spark, a bold word, a true choice lifts, yet the crowd calls. The paradox twists, you want you, but need them too. Why do some steps feel so wrong? Life's full of crowds, some kind, some tight. Conformity's a note, not your whole song. The street's busy, the choice yours. Will you sink, or sway free? The question lingers, what's worth dancing? Tomorrow's another hum, another line. Will you join, or lead? The choice hums, sharp as feet. What will you step? The crowd's just faces, but the weight's yours. You've known your beat, real moves, true vibes, yet conformity pulls, soft, sure. What makes you blend, or break out? Is it fear, or just ease's call? The road waits. What will you walk? The pitfall of uncertainty. A fork splits your path, two trails fading into dusk, no signs, no hints. You stand, heart racing, each step a guess. Why does not knowing feel so sharp? The pitfall of uncertainty hums, wide as the dark. You're sure, you plan, you pick, but sometimes it freezes, no choice is clear, no end in sight. Suppose you could know the right way, sure. Would you, or does the guess spark too? The question cuts, why do you fear the fog? The trails wait, your feet still. Uncertainty's not just doubt, it's a chasm, swallowing your sureness, love, work, you. You try, wait, but the split stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, not knowing stalls you, but moves you too. Why's it so hard to choose? Maybe it's not just the dark, it's you, craving a map life won't draw. You could stand there, safe in pause. But would you? You've felt the leap, a blind step, a gut call lands right, yet the fog creeps back. The paradox twists, you need sure to live, but thrive in doubt too. Why do some forks feel so deep? Life's full of splits, some kind, some stark. Uncertainty's a gust, not your whole wind. The dusk's quiet, the choice yours. Will you pick, or wait on? The question lingers, what's worth risking? Tomorrow's another fork, another haze. Will you walk, or hold back? The choice hums, clear as night. What will you chase? The trails are just earth, but the fog's yours. You've known bold moves, real steps, true hits, yet uncertainty pulls, slow, sure. What makes you pause, or plunge? Is it nerve, or just life's dare? The split waits. What will you take? The toxicity of prejudice. A wall rises in your mind, quick, firm, splitting them from you, different look, different way. You lean on it, sure it's right, but a crack hums, is this truth, or poison? The toxicity of prejudice hums, hard as stone. You're fair, you smile, you help, but sometimes it slips, they're less, you're more, it's just how it is. Suppose you could tear it down, see clear. Would you, or does the wall feel safe? The question bites, why do you build it so fast? The crack small, your stance firm. Prejudice is not just hate, it's a reflex, boxing others to keep you sure, safe, right, better. You try, listen, learn, but the wall holds, heavy. Here's the paradox, judging lifts you, but shrinks you too. Why's it so hard to climb over? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, fearing what's strange, what's not you. You could chip it, open up. But would you? You felt truth, a kind face, a shared talk breaks stone, yet the reflex kicks. The paradox twists, you want fair, but lean unfair too. Why do some walls stand so tall? Life's full of faces, some new, some near. Prejudice is a line, not your whole path. The mind still, the choice yours. Will you build, or break? The question lingers, what's worth seeing? Tomorrow's another face, another wall. Will you judge, or reach out? The choice hums, sharp as light. What will you know? The wall's just thought, but the crack's yours. You've known open hearts, real bonds, true eyes, yet prejudice pulls, quick, sure. What makes you hold it, or let it fall? Is it fear, or just eases weight? The mind waits. What will you see? The burden of expectation. A stack of letters towers on your desk, each sealed with someone's hope, parents, friends, you, demanding more, better, now. You lift one, and the weight sinks in, heavier than paper. When did their dreams become your chains? The burden of expectation hums, tight as a rope. You're driven, you aim high, you deliver, but sometimes it pulls, be this, do that, don't falter. Suppose you could drop them, walk free. Would you, or does the stack feel like home? The question bites, why do you carry their load? The desk creaks, the letters still. Expectations not just goals, it's a yoke, pressing you to fit, smart, kind, perfect you. You try, climb, please, but the pile grows, heavy. Here's the paradox, their faith lifts you, but crushes you too. Why's it so hard to shrug it off? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, fearing you'll fall short without it. You could burn the stack, chase your own ink. But would you? You felt pride, a nod, a win matches the script, yet the weight lingers. The paradox twists, You need their eyes to shine, but they dim you too. Why do some letters cut deeper? Life's full of stacks, some yours, some theirs. Expectations a thread, not your whole weave. The room's quiet, the choice sharp. Will you bear it, or break free? The question lingers, what's worth proving? Tomorrow's another letter, another hope. Will you lift it, or let it lie? The choice hums, clear as paper. What will you hold? The desk is just wood, but the load's yours. You've known your pace, real steps, true wins, yet expectation pulls, slow, sure. What makes you carry it, or cast it off? Is it love, or just duty's grip? The stack waits. What will you write? The Specter of Failure. A tightrope stretches before you, thin, swaying over a dark drop. You step, heart pounding, sure one slip ends it, dreams, pride, you. When did falling become so loud? The Specter of Failure hums, sharp as a gust. You're bold, you try, you risk, but sometimes it looms. Every move could crash, every hope could break. Suppose you could cross, no fear. Would you, or does the drop keep you sharp? The question cuts, why does failure haunt so close? The rope wobbles, your breath tight. Failure's not just loss, it's a ghost, shadowing your steps, work, love, all of it. You push, reach, dare, but the edge whispers, heavy. Here's the paradox, fearing it stops you, but drives you too. Why's it so hard to look up? Maybe it's not just the fall, it's you, tying worth to the landing. You could stay still, safe on shore. But would you? You felt triumph, a step, a wind defies the drop, yet the specter lingers. The paradox twists, you need risk to grow, but dread its end. Why do some slips loom larger? Life's full of ropes, some firm, some frail. Failure's a shadow, not your whole path. The wind's still, the choice yours. Will you walk, or wait? The question lingers, what's worth risking? Tomorrow's another rope, another sway. Will you cross, or cling back? The choice hums, clear as air. What will you step? The rope's just thread, but the drop's yours. You've known winds, real leaps, true holds, yet failure pulls, soft, sure. What makes you pause, or push on? Is it nerve, or just pride's weight? The line waits. What will you dare? The Erosion of Curiosity. A book gathers dust on your shelf, pages unturned, mysteries locked tight. You pass it, once eager, now blank. Why dig when you know enough? When did wonder fade to a shrug? The Erosion of Curiosity hums, dull as a drone. You're bright, you ask, you learn, but sometimes it wanes. The world solved, no spark left. Suppose you could flip it, chase the new. Would you, or does the dust feel fine? The question bites, why did you stop looking? The shelf creaks, the book still. Curiosity's not just questions, it's a fire, lighting up what's dark, how, why, what's next? You move, work, live, but the flame dims, heavy. Here's the paradox, knowing comforts you, but starves you too. Why's it so hard to reach? Maybe it's not just time, it's you, settling for the known, safe. You could open it, stir the ash. But would you? You've felt wonder, a fact, a tale wakes you, yet the dust settles back. The paradox twists, you need wonder to grow, but cling to shore. Why do some pages stay shut? Life's full of books, some fresh, some old. Curiosity's a spark, not your whole glow. The room's quiet, the choice yours. Will you dust it, or let it lie? The question lingers, what's worth asking? Tomorrow's another book, another why. Will you turn it, or walk past? The choice hums, soft as paper. What will you seek? The shelf's just wood, but the dust's yours. You've known all real finds, true wise, yet erosion pulls, slow, sure. What makes you stop, or start again? Is it fire, or just ease's weight? The pages wait. What will you read? The Veil of Denial. A crack splits your wall, thin but deep, humming with truth you don't want, flaw, loss, real you. You paint over it, quick, sure it's gone. When did hiding feel so right? The veil of denial hums, smooth as a lie. You're honest, you face, you fix, but sometimes it cloaks, not me, not now. It's fine. Suppose you could peel it, see the split. Would you, or does the paint feel safe? The question cuts. Why do you hide the crack? The wall's firm, your brush wet. Denial's not just dodge, it's a shield, keeping out what stings, truth, pain, change. You live, smile, plan, but the split hums, heavy. Here's the paradox. Denying saves you, but blinds you too. Why's it so hard to look? Maybe it's not just the flaw, it's you, fearing what's bare underneath. You could keep painting, stay whole. But would you? You felt truth, a peak, a pang clears the air, yet the veil falls back. The paradox twists, you want real, but crave the blur. Why do some cracks stay so loud? Life's full of walls, some smooth, some split. Denial's a coat, not your whole house. The paint's dry, the choice yours. Will you cover, or strip it? The question lingers, what's worth facing? Tomorrow's another crack, another hum. Will you see, or paint on? The choice hums, sharp as light. What will you show? The wall's just stone, but the veil's yours. You've known bare truth, real stings, true shifts, yet denial pulls, soft, sure. What makes you hide, or look through? Is it strength, or just fear's brush? The split waits. What will you bear? The ashes of lost faith. A candle flickers on your table, once tall, now a puddle of wax, belief gone soft, burned out. You watch it, missing its old glow. When did trust turn to ash? The ashes of lost faith hum, faint as smoke. You're open, you hope, you seek, but sometimes it fades. No spark, no sure, just gray. Suppose you could relight it, feel it again. Would you, or does the ash feel true? The question bites. Why did the flame die? The wax pools, your hand still. Faith's not just God's, it's a fire, warming you to life, good, meaning, next. You live, work, love, but the glow dims, heavy. Here's the paradox. Losing it frees you, but chills you too. Why's it so hard to strike a match? Maybe it's not just doubt, it's you, burned by what didn't hold. You could let it stay cold, call it wise. But would you? You felt flickers, a kind act. A wind warms, yet the ash lingers. The paradox twists, you need faith to rise, but dread its fall. Why do some flames leave such dust? Life's full of candles, some bright, some spent. Faith's a spark, not your whole light. The table's quiet, the choice yours. Will you strike, or sweep it? The question lingers, what's worth believing? Tomorrow's another wick, another glow. Will you light, or let it lie? The choice hums, soft as air. What will you burn? The candle's just wax, but the ash is yours. You've known faith's lift, real hopes, true ties, yet lost pulls, slow, sure. What makes you reach, or turn away? Is it hope, or just time's nudge? The puddle waits. What will you spark? The paradox of freedom. A gate swings wide in your yard, no lock, no wall, go anywhere, be anything. You stand, dizzy with all the ways, but your feet freeze. Why does open feel so tight? The paradox of freedom hums, vast as a sky. You're bold, you choose, you roam, but sometimes it chokes. Too many paths, no map. Suppose you could pick one, sure and free. Would you, or does the gate scare you still? The question cuts, why does freedom bind? The yard's open, your heart loud. Freedom's not just choice, it's a flood, drowning you in maybes, left, right, who? You try ye step, dream, but the vastness pulls, heavy. Here's the paradox, freedom lifts you, but weighs you too. Why's it so hard to move? Maybe it's not just the gate, it's you, craving a rail to hold. You could stay put, pick safe. But would you? You felt the rush, a bold turn, a free laugh soars, yet the gate looms. The paradox twists, you want all, but need less to breathe. Why do some opens feel so shut? Life's full of gates, some wide, some thin. Freedom's a wind, not your whole sky. The grass stirs, the choice yours. Will you run, or root? The question lingers, what's worth chasing? Tomorrow's another gate, another vast. Will you leap, or linger? The choice hums, clear as day. What will you take? The gate's just iron, but the weight's yours. You've known free steps, real moves, true joys, yet freedom pulls, wild, sure. What makes you freeze, or fly? Is it nerve, or just space's call? The yard waits. What will you roam? The destruction of quiet moments. A clock hums in your room, soft, marking a pause, silence, yours alone. You sit, but a storm brews, thoughts, fears, noise you can't hush. When did peace turn to chaos? The destruction of quiet moments hums, loud as a crack. You're calm, you rest, you breathe, but sometimes it shatters. The still fills with what-ifs, old aches. Suppose you could hold it, keep it pure. Would you, or does the storm feel true? The question bites. Why can't you keep the hush? The clock ticks, your mind fast. Quiet's not just silence. It's a space, a chance to be soft, clear, you. You seek it, pause, sit, but the noise crashes, heavy. Here's the paradox. Quiet heals you, but breaks you too. Why's it so hard to stay? Maybe it's not just the storm, it's you, afraid of what the hush might say. You could fight it, force the calm. But would you? You felt peace, a breath, a lull soothes, yet the crash returns. The paradox twists, you crave still, but stir it too. Why do some silences roar so loud? Life's full of pauses, some sweet, some sharp. Quiet's a note, not your whole song. The room's still, the choice yours. Will you hush, or let it rage? The question lingers, what's worth hearing? Tomorrow's another pause, another hum. Will you hold, or break it? The choice hums, soft as time. What will you keep? The clock's just gears, but the storm's yours. You've known calm, real rests, true quiets, yet destruction pulls, quick, sure. What makes you stir, or settle? Is it fear, or just mind's rush? The tick waits. What will you hear? The irony of dependency. A rope dangles from your hand, tied to someone's pull, friend, love, their strength. You grip it, sure you stand alone, but it tugs. When did needing feel so wrong? The irony of dependency hums, tight as a knot. You're fierce, you carve, you stride, but sometimes it shows. You lean, you need, despite the brag. Suppose you could cut it, walk solo. Would you, or does the rope feel good? The question cuts, why do you fight the tie? The rope's worn, your stance proud. Dependency's not just want, it's a twist, binding you to others, help, heart, them. You push, stand tall, say no, but the tug stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, needing weakens you, but builds you too. Why's it so hard to hold? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, chained by the lean, craving the lone. You could drop it, prove your steel. But would you? You felt the lift, a hand, a word steadies, yet the irony stings. The paradox twists, you want free, but thrive tied. Why do some ropes feel so tight? Life's full of ties, some loose, some firm. Dependency's a thread, not your whole cloth. The hand still, the choice yours. Will you pull, or let go? The question lingers, what's worth leaning? Tomorrow's another rope, another tug. Will you grip, or cut free? The choice hums, sharp as cord. What will you hold? The rope's just fiber, but the knot's yours. You've known lone winds, real steps, true stands, yet dependency pulls, soft, sure. What makes you cling, or break off? Is it pride, or just life's weave? The tie waits. What will you bind? The illusion of authenticity. A mask hangs in your closet, worn smooth, your face, but not quite. You wear it, sure it's you, but it pinches, hides a crack. When did real start feeling fake? The illusion of authenticity hums, slick as a sheen. You're true, you speak, you show, but sometimes it wavers. This you's for them, not all yours. Suppose you could shed it, bare the raw. Would you, or does the mask fit too well? The question bites. Why do you doubt your own skin? The closet's dim, the mask cool. Authenicity's not just truth, it's a dance, shaping you to fit, bold, soft, seen. You try, be you, stay real, but the pinch grows, heavy. Here's the paradox, being real frees you, but binds you too. Why's it so hard to drop? Maybe it's not just the mask, it's you, unsure where real ends, play begins. You could keep it on, blend easy. But would you? You've felt true, a raw word, a free laugh shines, yet the illusion creeps. The paradox twists, you want pure, but where the sheen? Why do some selves feel so staged? Life's full of masks, some yours, some theirs. Authenticity's a spark, not your whole glow. The shelf still, the choice sharp. Will you wear, or strip it? The question lingers, what's worth showing? Tomorrow's another face, another fit. Will you bear, or cloak up? The choice hums, clear as air. What will you be? The mask's just cloth, but the pinch is yours. You've known real you, true deeds, raw joys, yet illusion pulls, soft, sure. What makes you hide, or step out? Is it fear, or just rolls ease? The closet waits. What will you wear? The twilight of optimism. A sunrise paints your window, gold and soft, but your eyes squint, too bright, too brief. You turn, sure it'll fade, like always. When did hope turn to dusk? The twilight of optimism hums, faint as a glow. You're light, you plan, you cheer, but sometimes it dims. Good short, hard sure, why bet on dawn? Suppose you could hold it, see only sun. Would you, or does the fade feel wise? The question bites, why did the gold lose its shine? The window's warm, your heart cool. Optimism's not just cheer, it's a lens, tinting life bright, wins, loves, nexts. You try, hope, smile, but the dusk creeps, heavy. Here's the paradox, believing lifts you, but blinds you too. Why's it so hard to trust the light? Maybe it's not just time, it's you, scarred by dusk, guarding the dark. You could chase it, paint it gold. But would you? You've felt dawn, a kind turn, a bold day glows, yet twilight lingers. The paradox twists, you want bright, but no gray too well. Why do some suns set so fast? Life's full of dawns, some true, some thin. Optimism's a spark, not your whole sky. The glass glows, the choice yours. Will you squint, or soak it? The question lingers, what's worth hoping? Tomorrow's another sun, another fade. Will you rise, or wait dusk? The choice hums, soft as light. What will you see? The window's just glass, but the dusk's yours. You've known hope's lift, real joys, true dawns, yet twilight pulls, slow, sure. What makes you turn, or turn back? Is it truth, or just life's shade? The gold waits. What will you chase? The bitter taste of abandonment. A phone sits silent on your table, no buzz, no glow, someone's gone, left you hanging in the quiet. You stare, tasting the sting, sharp and sour. When did alone become so bitter? The bitter taste of abandonment hums, cold as a draft. You're steady, you connect, you trust, but sometimes it hits, they walked away, no note, no why. Suppose you could call them back, hear the reason. Would you, or does the silence feel safer? The question bites, why does their exit linger? The phone's still, your chest tight. Abandonment's not just loss, it's a flavor, coating your days, friends, loves, all fragile now. You try, reach out, build new, but the taste stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, being left cuts you, but toughens you too. Why's it so hard to swallow? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, wondering what drove them off. You could let it fade, seek new voices. But would you? You felt warmth, a new bond, a kind word heals, yet the bitter lingers. The paradox twists, you want trust, but fear the drop. Why do some leaving scar so deep? Life's full of calls, some loud, some gone. Abandonment's a note, not your whole song. The table's quiet, the choice yours. Will you wait, or dial out? The question lingers, what's worth hearing? Tomorrow's another silence, another chance. Will you listen, or let it ring? The choice hums, sharp as air. What will you taste? The phone's just plastic, but the sting's yours. You've known connection, real talks, true stays, yet abandonment pulls, slow, sure. What makes you hold it, or let it go? Is it pain, or just memory's bite? The quiet waits. What will you call? The Chasm of Misunderstanding. A bridge sways between you and them, words tossed across, but they land wrong, twisted, unheard. You shout louder, but the gap widens, deep and dark. When did your voice stop reaching? The chasm of misunderstanding hums, wide as a rift. You're clear, you speak, you mean, but sometimes it fails. They see thorns where you plant flowers. Suppose you could cross it, make them hear. Would you, or does the gap feel too real? The question cuts, why don't they get you? The bridge creaks, your words lost. Misunderstanding's not just noise, it's a divide, splitting intent from what's seen, love, truth, you. You try, explain, soften, but the chasm yawns, heavy. Here's the paradox, you want close, but grow far in the try. Why's it so hard to bridge? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, fearing your truth bends too much. You could stop, let it lie. But would you? You felt sink, a nod, a laugh aligns, yet the rift returns. The paradox twists, you need words to connect, but they break you too. Why do some gaps grow so vast? Life's full of bridges, some firm, some frail. Misunderstanding's a crack, not your whole span. The wind's still, the choice yours. Will you shout, or step back? The question lingers, what's worth saying? Tomorrow's another bridge, another try. Will you cross, or hold still? The choice hums, clear as dusk. What will you mean? The bridge is just wood, but the gap's yours. You've known understanding, real ties, true hears, yet the chasm pulls, soft, sure. What makes you speak, or hush? Is it hope, or just strange weight? The sway waits. What will you build? The burden of inadequacy. A mirror tilts in your hall, catching you short, not fast, not bright, not enough. You look away, but the weight sticks, pressing down. When did you start feeling less? The burden of inadequacy hums, heavy as stone. You're able, you do, you shine, but sometimes it gnaws, you're behind, you're small, you're off. Suppose you could see full, no lack. Would you, or does the weight feel true? The question bites, why do you carry this load? The mirror's still, your shadow soft. Inadequacy's not just doubt, it's a yoke, bending your back, work, love, you fall short. You push, try more, prove it, but the stone stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, feeling less drives you, but drags you too. Why's it so hard to lift? Maybe it's not just you, it's them, loud with bars you can't reach. You could drop it, stand tall. But would you? You felt enough, a win, a smile fits right, yet the burden creeps. The paradox twists, you want worth, but doubt it most. Why do some lacks cut so deep? Life's full of mirrors, some kind, some harsh. Inadequacy's a mark, not your whole shape. The hall's quiet, the choice yours. Will you bear, or break it? The question lingers, what's worth claiming? Tomorrow's another glance, another load. Will you rise, or bend low? The choice hums, sharp as glass. What will you see? The mirror's just silver, but the weight's yours. You've known your strength, real deeds, true lifts, yet inadequacy pulls, slow, sure. What makes you hold it, or let it fall? Is it truth, or just fear's grip? The tilt waits. What will you stand? The sorrow of lost time. A clock spins fast on your wall, hands blurring days you can't grab, moments gone, years slipped. You watch, a pang rising, soft but deep. When did time start slipping away? The sorrow of lost time hums, faint as a tick. You're present, you live, you love, but sometimes it stings, hours wasted, chances missed, then's gone. Suppose you could rewind, hold one day. Would you, or does the loss feel set? The question cuts, why does past ache so much? The clock whirs, your heart slow. Lost time's not just regret, it's a ghost, haunting now, laughs not shared, paths not walked. You try DCs now, plan next, but the tick mourns, heavy. Here's the paradox, time's gone frees you, but binds you too. Why's it so hard to let go? Maybe it's not just then, it's you, grieving what you didn't make. You could ignore it, chase today. But would you? You felt now, a full day, A true joy heals, yet the sorrow lingers. The paradox twists, you need past to know, but it weighs you too. Why do some ticks hit harder? Life's full of clocks, some slow, some lost. Sorrow's a note, not your whole beat. The wall's still, the choice yours. Will you mourn, or mark now? The question lingers, what's worth keeping? Tomorrow's another tick, another then. Will you hold, or move on? The choice hums, soft as time. What will you count? The clock's just gears, but the pang's yours. You've known full hours, real loves, true wins, yet sorrow pulls, slow, sure. What makes you cling, or step free? Is it grief, or just life's rush? The hands wait. What will you chase? The mirage of self-improvement. A ladder leans in your mind, tall, promising a better you, stronger, wiser, there. You climb, but it stretches, always one rung off. When did better become so far? The mirage of self-improvement hums, bright as a trick. You're growing, you learn, you shift, but sometimes it fades, the you up there stays out of reach. Suppose you could stop, be now. Would you, or does the climb feel vital? The question bites, why does more elude you? The ladder's firm, your grip tight. Improvement's not just growth, it's a shimmer, luring you on, fix this, gain that, be enough. You push, read, sweat, but the top blurs, heavy. Here's the paradox, climbing lifts you, but mocks you too. Why's it so hard to rest? Maybe it's not just the goal, it's you, tying worth to the next rung. You could step off, call it good. But would you? You felt close, a skill, a shift feels right, yet the mirage shifts. The paradox twists, you want better, but lose now. Why do some rungs shine so bright? Life's full of ladders, some real, some haze. Improvement's a spark, not your whole climb. The mind's still, the choice yours. Will you climb, or stand here? The question lingers, what's worth reaching? Tomorrow's another rung, another tease. Will you chase, or hold now? The choice hums, clear as air. What will you seek? The ladder's just thought, but the blur's yours. You've known growth, real gains, true steps, yet the mirage pulls, soft, sure. What makes you stretch, or settle? Is it drive, or just hope's gleam? The height waits. What will you grasp? The dilemma of sacrifice. A coin glints in your palm, enough for your dream or theirs, not both. You flip it, torn between keeping and giving, heart split wide. When did choosing hurt so much? The dilemma of sacrifice hums, sharp as a flip. You're generous, you share, you bend, but sometimes it pulls, your want or their need, one must fall. Suppose you could have both, no cost. Would you, or does the choice feel real? The question cuts, why does giving ache? The coin's cool, your mind loud. Sacrifice is not just loss, it's a fork, splitting you, self, them, now. You weigh, keep it, give it, but the split stings, heavy. Here's the paradox, letting go grows you, but shrinks you too. Why's it so hard to drop? Maybe it's not just the coin, it's you, fearing what's left after. You could clutch it, stay whole. But would you? You've felt the lift, a gift, a yes warms, yet the ache lingers. The paradox twists, you need self, but need them too. Why do some coins weigh so much? Life's full of flips, some light, some dear. Sacrifice is a choice, not your whole purse. The palm's still, the choice yours. Will you keep, or pass it? The question lingers, what's worth losing? Tomorrow's another coin, another split. Will you hold, or let go? The choice hums, clear as metal. What will you spare? The coin's just silver, but the split's yours. You've known giving's glow, real joys, true yeses, yet dilemma pulls, slow, sure. What makes you choose, or pause? Is it love, or just duty's edge? The flip waits. What will you toss? The weight of unspoken truths. A letter folds in your pocket, words you won't say, sharp, true, stuck. You carry it, feeling it press, silent but loud. When did silence grow so heavy? The weight of unspoken truths hums, tight as a seal. You're open, you talk, you share, but sometimes it hides, Truth's too raw, too big to voice. Suppose you could spill it, free the page. Would you, or does the fold feel safer? The question bites. Why do you hold it in? The pocket's warm, your tongue still. Unspoken's not just quiet, it's a load, piling up, hurts, loves, real you. You try, hint, smile, but the words stay, heavy. Here's the paradox, silence shields you, but chokes you too. Why's it so hard to speak? Maybe it's not just fear, it's you, guarding what might break loose. You could keep it, stay shut. But would you? You felt release, a truth, a cry lifts, yet the weight returns. The paradox twists, you want free, but fear the sound. Why do some truths stay so deep? Life's full of letters, some sent, some held. Unspoken's a thread, not your whole weave. The cloth still, the choice yours. Will you seal, or tear it? The question lingers, what's worth saying? Tomorrow's another truth, another fold. Will you voice, or bury it? The choice hums, sharp as ink. What will you write? The letter's just paper, but the load's yours. You've known truths lift, real words, true freeze, yet silence pulls, soft, sure. What makes you hold, or let fly? Is it care, or just fear's grip? The pocket waits. What will you send? The shadow of hidden agendas. A smile flashes across the table, warm, but a flicker hums, something's off, veiled, not all there. You nod back, but the doubt creeps, cold and sly. When did trust start to squint? The shadow of hidden agendas hums, faint as a shade. You're sure, you read, you bond, but sometimes it twists, their words bend, their eyes hide more. Suppose you could peek, see the full play. Would you, or does the doubt feel sharp? The question cuts, why do you sense the mask? The table's still, your guard up. Agendas aren't just lies, they're a fog, clouding what's true, help, love, them. You try, ask, trust, but the flicker stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, doubting shields you, but splits you too. Why's it so hard to lean in? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, scarred by old plays, watching for tricks. You could call it, clear the air. But would you? You felt truth, a straight word, a real smile clears, yet the shadow lingers. The paradox twists, you want close, but brace for less. Why do some smiles feel so thin? Life's full of faces, some open, some veiled. Agendas are a hint, not your whole view. The chair's still, the choice yours. Will you probe, or let it pass? The question lingers, what's worth knowing? Tomorrow's another smile, another shade. Will you trust, or squint? The choice hums, clear as light. What will you see? The smile's just teeth, but the shadow's yours. You've known real bonds, true looks, straight talks, yet agendas pull, slow, sure. What makes you doubt, or dive in? Is it wisdom, or just past's nudge? The table waits. What will you read? The Abyss of Isolation. A lantern glows in your hand, dim, casting you alone in a sea of dark, others near, but far, untouchable. You hold it, feeling the deep drop inside. When did closeness turn so vast? The Abyss of Isolation hums, wide as night. You're there, you laugh, you join, but sometimes it yawns. No one's really with you, not deep. Suppose you could bridge it, touch their light. Would you, or does the dark feel yours? The question bites. Why do you stand so solo? The lantern's faint, your steps lone. Isolation's not just space, it's a gulf, cutting you off, friends, loves, all drift. You try, reach, talk, but the abyss stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, being alone frees you, but starves you too. Why's it so hard to cross? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, locked in, fearing the reach. You could stay put, hold your glow. But would you? You felt near, a hand, a word shrinks the dark, yet the abyss returns. The paradox twists, you want them, but guard you too. Why do some lights feel so far? Life's full of lanterns, some bright, some yours. Isolation's a shade, not your whole night. The dark still, the choice sharp. Will you shine, or sink in? The question lingers, what's worth bridging? Tomorrow's another glow, another gulf. Will you call, or fade back? The choice hums, soft as flame. What will you light? The lantern's just glass, but the abyss is yours. You've known ties, real nods, true nears, yet isolation pulls, slow, sure. What makes you stay, or step out? Is it fear, or just self's hold? The sea waits. What will you cross? The paradox of intimacy. A thread ties you to them, close, warm, heart open. There's two, but it pulls tight, showing your cracks. You lean in, thrilled, but raw. Why does closeness cut so deep? The paradox of intimacy hums, soft as a tug. You're open, you love, you share, but sometimes it shifts. The nearer they get, the more you're bare. Suppose you could stay close, no risk. Would you, or does the thread need pull? The question cuts. Why does near hurt? The tie's warm, your guard down. Intimacy's not just love, it's a mirror, showing all, flaws, fears, you. You seek it, hold, trust, but the rawness stings, heavy. Here's the paradox, closeness heals you, but wounds you too. Why's it so hard to stay? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, scared of what they'll see. You could pull back, keep safe. But would you? You felt its glow, a touch, a truth binds tight, yet the sting lingers. The paradox twists, you need near to grow, but dread its edge. Why do some ties feel so sharp? Life's full of threads, some loose, some deep. Intimacy's a knot, not your whole weave. The room's still, the choice yours. Will you tie, or ease off? The question lingers, what's worth bearing? Tomorrow's another thread, another pull. Will you lean, or hold back? The choice hums, clear as breath. What will you share? The thread's just silk, but the cut's yours. You've known closeness, real hearts, true knows, yet paradox pulls, soft, sure. What makes you open, or shut down? Is it love, or just risk's edge? The tie waits. What will you not? The curse of ambition. A ladder gleams in your room, each rung a promise, higher, bigger, you at the top. You climb, breathless, but the peak shifts, and a shadow hums, is this worth it? The curse of ambition hums, sharp as a spur. You're hungry, you plan, you push, but sometimes it bites, the climb consumes, leaving little else. Suppose you could rest, stay here. Would you, or does the ladder call too loud? The question cuts, why does more feel so vital? The rungs shine, your hands worn. Ambition's not just drive, it's a lash, whipping you on, win, rise, don't stop. You strive, work late, dream big, but the shadow grows, heavy. Here's the paradox, ambition fuels you, but drains you too. Why's it so hard to pause? Maybe it's not just the goal, it's you, tying worth to the height. You could step down, breathe easy. But would you? You felt the rush, a peak, a wind sparks fire, yet the curse lingers. The paradox twists, you need climb to shine, but it dims you too. Why do some rungs cut deeper? Life's full of ladders, some sturdy, some slick. Ambition's a flame, not your whole light. The room's still, the choice yours. Will you climb, or rest now? The question lingers, what's worth chasing? Tomorrow's another rung, another pull. Will you reach, or hold here? The choice hums, clear as steel. What will you seek? The ladder's just wood, but the spur's yours. You've known ambition's glow, real wins, true highs, yet the curse pulls, slow, sure. What makes you push, or pull back? Is it hunger, or just pride's sting? The peak waits. What will you grasp? The desperation of the outcast. A circle hums across the street, laughter spilling, but you stand outside, unseen, a ghost at the edge. You watch, aching to fit, but the line holds firm. When did belonging turn so desperate? The desperation of the outcast hums, raw as a cry. You're you smile, you try, but sometimes it stabs. They're in, you're out, no key. Suppose you could join, slip inside. Would you, or does the edge feel true? The question bites, why does the circle sting? The street's loud, your heart soft. Outcast's not just alone, it's a hunger, clawing for a nod, friends, groups, some us. You reach, wave, speak, but the wall stays heavy. Here's the paradox. Being out frees you, but starves you too. Why is it so hard to walk away? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, craving the warmth you're denied. You could turn off, build your own. But would you? You felt in, a laugh. A welcome fits right, yet the edge returns. The paradox twists, you want them, but need you too. Why do some lines cut so deep? Life's full of circles, some open, some shut. Desperation's a pang, not your whole pulse. The night's still, the choice yours. Will you knock, or step back? The question lingers, what's worth joining? Tomorrow's another group, another line. Will you beg, or stand free? The choice hums, sharp as dusk. What will you chase? The circle's just faces, but the ache's yours. You've known belonging, real ties, true ins, yet outcast pulls, slow, sure. What makes you reach, or retreat? Is it need, or just hope's grip? The edge waits. What will you claim? The illusion of permanence. A rock sits in your hand, cool, solid, forever. You think, like this moment, this you. Then a crack hums, faint, and it shifts. When did steady start to slip? The illusion of permanence hums, firm as a lie. You're grounded, you build, you hold, but sometimes it fades. Nothing lasts, not really. Suppose you could freeze it, keep it sure. Would you, or does the crack feel real? The question cuts, why do you trust the stone? The rock's still, your grip tight. Permanence is not just time, it's a dream, promising stay, home, love, now. You cling, plan, root, but the shift whispers, heavy. Here's the paradox, believing it stays comforts you, but blinds you too. Why's it so hard to let go? Maybe it's not just change, it's you, craving a base that won't move. You could hold tighter, fight the crack. But would you? You felt flux, a move, a loss wakes you, yet the illusion lingers. The paradox twists, you need solid to stand, but live in flow. Why do some rocks feel so sure? Life's full of stones, some whole, some dust. Permanence is a hope, not your whole ground. The hand still, the choice yours. Will you clutch, or open up? The question lingers, what's worth keeping? Tomorrow's another rock, another shift. Will you hold, or let it roll? The choice hums, clear as air. What will you trust? The rock's just earth, but the crack's yours. You've known steady, real ties, true stays, yet illusion pulls, soft, sure. What makes you grip, or release? Is it fear, or just life's hum? The split waits. What will you carry? The dissonance of dreams versus reality. A star blinks in your sky, bright with your dream, big, bold, yours. You reach, but the ground hums, this is it, not that. When did want and is split so wide? The dissonance of dreams versus reality hums, sharp as a gap. You're a dreamer, you hope, you aim, but sometimes it jars, the life you see clashes with the one you live. Suppose you could grab it, make it real. Would you, or does the gap feel true? The question bites, why does the star feel so far? The sky's clear, your feet stuck. Dissonance is not just wish, it's a tug, pulling dream from now, love, work, you. You try, push, plan, but the split sings, heavy. Here's the paradox, dreams lift you, but ground you too. Why's it so hard to close? Maybe it's not just the star, it's you, caught between what's real and what's yours. You could let it fade, live here. But would you? You felt close, a step, a wind nears it, yet the dissonance returns. The paradox twists, you need dreams to grow, but they ache too. Why do some stars shine so loud? Life's full of skies, some near, some vast. Dissonance is a chord, not your whole tune. The night's still, the choice yours. Will you reach, or root down? The question lingers, what's worth dreaming? Tomorrow's another star, another now. Will you chase, or stay put? The choice hums, soft as light. What will you see? The stars just fire, but the gap's yours. You've known near hits, real moves, true aims, yet dissonance pulls, slow, sure. What makes you stretch, or settle? Is it hope, or just dreams pull? The sky waits. What will you grasp? The sting of rejection. A door slams in your face, not hard, just firm, someone's no, clear and cold. You stand, the sting blooming, sharp and quick. When did not want it hurt so much? The sting of rejection hums, raw as a slap. You're open, you offer, you try, but sometimes it lands, you're out, not enough, bye. Suppose you could walk in, be yes. Would you, or does the sting feel real? The question cuts, why does no bite so deep? The door's shut, your chest tight. Rejection's not just loss, it's a barb, hooking you, friends, loves, all can turn. You push, smile, try again, but the mark stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, being cut toughens you, but tears you too. Why's it so hard to shrug? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, fearing you're less than you show. You could lock up, stop knocking. But would you? You felt yes, a welcome, a nod heals, yet the sting lingers. The paradox twists, you need others to shine, but they dim you too. Why do some no's cut sharper? Life's full of doors, some open, some slammed. Rejection's a prick, not your whole path. The hall's still, the choice yours. Will you knock, or walk off? The question lingers, what's worth asking? Tomorrow's another door, another no. Will you try, or turn away? The choice hums, clear as wood. What will you face? The door's just oak, but the barb's yours. You've known yes, real ends, true nods, yet rejection pulls, slow, sure. What makes you reach, or retreat? Is it hope, or just heart stare? The echo waits. What will you seek? The burden of injustice. A scale tilts in your hand, one side heavy, wrong wins, fair loses, and it's not right. You grip it, the unfairness sinking, deep and dull. When did right stop weighing true? The burden of injustice hums, hard as iron. You're just, you fight, you care, but sometimes it presses, the world bends, good gets crushed. Suppose you could balance it, set it right. Would you, or does the tilt feel set? The question bites. Why does wrong weigh so much? The scale's cold, your arm tired. Injustice is not just loss, it's a load, piling on, cheats thrive, kind fall. You try ye speak, fix, but the tilt stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, bearing it fires you, but wears you too. Why's it so hard to lift? Maybe it's not just the world, it's you, aching for fair you can't force. You could drop it, let it lie. But would you? You felt right, a stand, a win evens out, yet the burden lingers. The paradox twists, you need justice to live, but it grinds you too. Why do some wrongs sit so deep? Life's full of scales, some fair, some off. Injustice is a weight, not your whole hold. The hand still, the choice yours. Will you fight, or let go? The question lingers, what's worth writing? Tomorrow's another tilt, another load. Will you push, or ease off? The choice hums, sharp as steel. What will you bear? The scale's just metal, but the load's yours. You've known fair, real wins, true rights, yet injustice pulls, slow, sure. What makes you hold, or drop it? Is it fire, or just hope's strain? The balance waits. What will you tip? The poison of self-deception. A mirror winks in your room, showing you that's fine, strong, sure, no cracks. You nod, but a hum twists, is this real, or a lie? When did you start drinking your own tale? The poison of self-deception hums, sweet as a sip. You're true, you face, you know, but sometimes it slips, you paint over flaws, dodge the raw. Suppose you could see clear, no gloss. Would you, or does the lie taste good? The question cuts, why do you sip the fake? The mirror's smooth, your eyes soft. Self-deception's not just denial, it's a brew, masking what stings, weak, lost, you. You live, smile, stride, but the poison seeps, heavy. Here's the paradox, lying to you soothes, but sickens too. Why's it so hard to spit? Maybe it's not just the lie, it's you, craving a you that's easier to see. You could shatter it, face the blur. But would you? You felt truth, a crack, a sting clears, yet the poison lingers. The paradox twists, you want real, but love the sheen. Why do some lies feel so sweet? Life's full of mirrors, some bare, some glossed. Deception's a drop, not your whole well. The glass shines, the choice yours. Will you drink, or wipe it? The question lingers, what's worth knowing? Tomorrow's another wink, another sip. Will you see, or swallow? The choice hums, clear as light. What will you taste? The mirror's just silver, but the lie's yours. You've known raw, real flaws, true stings, yet deception pulls, soft, sure. What makes you sip, or spit out? Is it ease, or just fear's brew? The wink waits. What will you show? The compulsion of comparison. A window frames their life, shiny, full, better than your quiet hum. You look, and a pull twists. Why not me? Why them? When did your lane start curving? The compulsion of comparison hums, tight as a thread. You're you build, you glow, but sometimes it hooks, their wind dims yours, their more trumps your enough. Suppose you could close it, see just you. Would you, or does the look feel sharp? The question bites, why do their steps matter? The glass gleams, your heart fast. Comparison's not just envy, it's a race, pitting you against them, work, love, all of it. You try, focus, rise, but the pull stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, measuring lifts you, but shrinks you too. Why's it so hard to turn? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, needing a mark to feel tall. You could shut it, run your own. But would you? You felt free, a step, a joy stands alone, yet the compulsion returns. The paradox twists, you want your path, but crave their pace. Why do some lives shine so loud? Life's full of windows, some yours, some theirs. Comparison's a glance, not your whole view. The room's still, the choice yours. Will you peek, or look in? The question lingers, what's worth running? Tomorrow's another frame, another race. Will you chase, or stride free? The choice hums, soft as glass. What will you see? The window's just light, but the pull's yours. You've known your gait, real moves, true wins, yet comparison pulls, slow, sure. What makes you look, or look away? Is it drive, or just doubt's tug? The frame waits. What will you measure? The veil of suffering. A rain taps your roof, steady, soaking through, pain's there, always, under every step. You hear it, a constant hum, soft but sure. When did hurt become so close? The veil of suffering hums, wide as a sheet. You're tough, you laugh, you push, but sometimes it cloaks. Life's not free, not light, not ever. Suppose you could lift it, feel only sun. Would you, or does the rain feel true? The question cuts, why do you wear the wet? The roof holds, your heart damp. Suffering's not just big, it's a veil, draping all, small stings, deep cuts, you. You move, work, love, but the tap stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, pain shapes you, but shades you too. Why's it so hard to dry? Maybe it's not just life, it's you, knowing joy needs the rain to glow. You could hide, chase only shine. But would you? You felt light, a laugh, a wind breaks through, yet the veil falls back. The paradox twists, you need hurt to feel, but dread its weight. Why do some drops soak so deep? Life's full of rains, some soft, some storms. Suffering's a thread, not your whole cloth. The room's still, the choice yours. Will you shake, or sit wet? The question lingers, what's worth bearing? Tomorrow's another tap, another soak. Will you stand, or shield up? The choice hums, clear as water. What will you take? The rain's just sky, but the veil's yours. You've known bright, real joys, true lifts, yet suffering pulls, slow, sure. What makes you hold, or shake off? Is it truth, or just life's hum? The roof waits. What will you wear? The irony of vulnerability. A window cracks open in your chest, letting them peek, soft, raw, all you. You lean in, warm, but a chill hums. What if they heard it? When did open turn so sharp? The irony of vulnerability hums, soft as a breeze. You're strong, you stand, you share, but sometimes it twists, bearing you invites both love and sting. Suppose you could lock it, stay shut. Would you, or does the crack feel alive? The question bites. Why does raw risk so much? The window's ajar, your pulse loud. Vulnerability's not just trust, it's a dare, showing what's real, fears, hopes, you. You try, open, give, but the chill stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, being seen heals you, but cuts you too. Why's it so hard to leave wide? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, scared of what they'll wield. You could close it, guard tight. But would you? You felt connection, a truth, a touch binds, yet the irony lingers. The paradox twists, you need open to grow, but brace for pain. Why do some cracks feel so wide? Life's full of windows, some warm, some cold. Vulnerability's a breath, not your whole air. The chest still, the choice yours. Will you bear, or bold it? The question lingers, what's worth showing? Tomorrow's another crack, another peak. Will you share, or shield up? The choice hums, clear as light. What will you let? The window's just glass, but the chill's yours. You've known bonds, real opens, true holds, yet irony pulls, slow, sure. What makes you show, or shut down? Is it love, or just risk's edge? The crack waits. What will you air? The shadow of lost dreams. A sketch fades on your wall, once bold, a house, a trip, a you that didn't happen. You pass it, and a shadow hums, what if it had? When did dreams start casting shade? The shadow of lost dreams hums, soft as dust. You're alive, you plan, you do, but sometimes it looms, those old wants, bright then, gone now. Suppose you could redraw it, chase it still. Would you, or does the fade feel set? The question bites, why do they linger so long? The sketch is faint, your steps sure. Lost dreams aren't just past, they're a ghost, trailing you, might have beens, roads not taken. You try, focus now, build new, but the shadow stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, letting go frees you, but haunts you too. Why's it so hard to erase? Maybe it's not just the dream, it's you, mourning a self you didn't meet. You could paint over, start fresh. But would you? You felt sparks, new goals, real winds light up, yet the shadow lingers. The paradox twists, you need dreams to rise, but they weigh you too. Why do some sketches stick so deep? Life's full of walls, some drawn, some blank. Lost dreams are a line, not your whole art. The room's still, the choice yours. Will you shade, or sketch anew? The question lingers, what's worth dreaming? Tomorrow's another wall, another fade. Will you chase, or let it go? The choice hums, clear as dust. What will you draw? The sketch is just paper, but the shade's yours. You've known new lines, real joys, true aims, yet the shadow pulls, slow, sure. What makes you hold, or wipe it? Is it grief, or just hope's trace? The wall waits. What will you mark? The abyss of consumerism. A shelf gleams in your room, stacked with stuff, shiny, new, yours. You touch it, but a void hums, is this full, or empty? When did things start swallowing you? The abyss of consumerism hums, bright as allure. You're fine, you earn, you enjoy, but sometimes it yawns, more stuff, less you, always buying. Suppose you could clear it, live light. Would you, or does the shine feel good? The question cuts, why does more feel so hollow? The shelf's full, your heart not. Consumerism's not just want, it's a pit, promising joy, buy this, be that, but it deepens, heavy. You try, cut back, savor, but the ads pull, loud. Here's the paradox, stuff fills you, but drains you too. Why's it so hard to stop? Maybe it's not just the shelf, it's you, seeking worth in the gleam. You could toss it, find enough. But would you? You felt free, a day, a laugh needs no price, yet the abyss calls. The paradox twists, you want simple, but crave the stack. Why do some things weigh so much? Life's full of shelves, some yours, some bait. Consumerism's a glow, not your whole light. The room's still, the choice sharp. Will you pile, or pare down? The question lingers, what's worth having? Tomorrow's another buy, another void. Will you grab, or let go? The choice hums, clear as glass. What will you keep? The shelf's just wood, but the pit's yours. You've known real full, true joys, no tags, yet consumerism pulls, slow, sure. What makes you stack, or shed it? Is it need, or just shine's tug? The gleam waits. What will you hold? The dread of oblivion. A book lies open on your desk, your name scratched in, but a whisper hums, one day, no one will read it. You pause, the fade creeping, cold and vast. When did forgetting start to loom? The dread of oblivion hums, deep as a hush. You're here, you act, you mark, but sometimes it grips, you'll vanish, lost to time's sweep. Suppose you could etch it, stay known. Would you, or does the dread feel true? The question bites, why does gone scare so much? The page is still, your breath fast. Oblivion's not just death, it's a void, erasing you, deeds, loves, all dust. You try, build, share, but the whisper grows, heavy. Here's the paradox, fearing fade drives you, but freezes you too. Why's it so hard to write on? Maybe it's not just time, it's you, craving a trace that lasts. You could let it go, live now. But would you? You've felt marks, a word, a gift sticks, yet the dread lingers. The paradox twists, you need now to shine, but want forever too. Why do some pages feel so frail? Life's full of books, some read, some lost. Oblivion's a wind, not your whole tale. The desk's quiet, the choice yours. Will you scratch, or let it blank? The question lingers, what's worth leaving? Tomorrow's another page, another fade. Will you write, or ease off? The choice hums, soft as ink. What will you pen? The book's just paper, but the dread's yours. You've known traces, real acts, true stays, yet oblivion pulls, slow, sure. What makes you mark, or let go? Is it fire, or just fear's gust? The blank waits. What will you say? The cost of compromise. A line splits your path, one side yours, the other theirs, dreams bend, values flex, and you step over. You nod, but a hum twists. What did you lose? When did bending start to cost? The cost of compromise hums, sharp as a trade. You're fair, you give, you meet, but sometimes it pulls, your way or peace, not both. Suppose you could hold firm, no give. Would you, or does the bend feel right? The question cuts, why does yes ache so much? The line's firm, your heart torn. Compromise is not just deal, it's a price, trading bits of you, truth, wants, core. You try, balance, agree, but the loss stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, giving in binds you, but breaks you too. Why's it so hard to stand? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, fearing clash more than cracks. You could push back, keep whole. But would you? You felt peace, a nod, a deal smooths, yet the cost lingers. The paradox twists, you need harmony, but lose self too. Why do some lines blur so deep? Life's full of paths, some yours, some shared. Compromise is a step, not your whole road. The ground's still, the choice sharp. Will you cross, or hold fast? The question lingers, what's worth trading? Tomorrow's another line, another give. Will you bend, or stand tall? The choice hums, clear as dirt. What will you keep? The line's just earth, but the cost's yours. You've known your way, real truths, true stands, yet compromise pulls, slow, sure. What makes you shift, or stay put? Is it love, or just pieces pull? The path waits. What will you cede? The weight of legacy. A frame hangs on your wall, faces staring, past voices, old winds, their mark on you. You feel it, a load hums, live up, carry on. When did then start pressing now? The weight of legacy hums, thick as a chain. You're you forge, you shine, but sometimes it tugs, their name, their path, your debt. Suppose you could drop it, be free. Would you, or does the frame feel yours? The question bites, why does past weigh so much? The wall's firm, your shoulders tight. Legacy's not just pride, it's a yoke, linking you to them, deeds, hopes, musts. You try, honor, add, but the chain pulls, heavy. Here's the paradox, their mark lifts you, but binds you too. Why's it so hard to shake? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, needing roots to stand tall. You could let it fall, carve new. But would you? You felt strength, a nod, a tie holds, yet the weight lingers. The paradox twists, you want your own, but oh there's two. Why do some frames hang so deep? Life's full of walls, some yours, some theirs. Legacy's a thread, not your whole cloth. The room's still, the choice sharp. Will you bear, or break it? The question lingers, what's worth carrying? Tomorrow's another face, another load. Will you lift, or let go? The choice hums, soft as wood. What will you hold? The frame's just glass, but the chain's yours. You've known your mark, real steps, true builds, yet legacy pulls, slow, sure. What makes you carry, or cast off? Is it duty, or just past grip? The stair waits. What will you owe? The fracture of identity. A mirror splits in your hand, shards showing you, bits bold, bits shy, none whole. You turn it, and a hum twists. Which is you, really? When did self start breaking apart? The fracture of identity hums, sharp as a crack. You're one, you live, you know, but sometimes it splits, you for them, you for you, all clash. Suppose you could fuse it, be sure. Would you, or does the split feel true? The question cuts, why don't you fit one frame? The shards glint, your eyes caught. Identity's not just name, it's a puzzle, shifting with each look, work, love, alone. You try, hold steady, be real, but the cracks hum, heavy. Here's the paradox, breaking shows you, but hides you too. Why's it so hard to mend? Maybe it's not just the mirror, it's you, juggling selves you can't drop. You could pick one, stay fixed. But would you? You felt whole, a moment, a truth aligns, yet the fracture returns. The paradox twists, you need all to be, but want one too. Why do some pieces cut so deep? Life's full of mirrors, some clear, some cracked. Identity's a shard, not your whole glass. The hand still, the choice yours. Will you glue, or let it scatter? The question lingers, what's worth being? Tomorrow's another split, another you. Will you mend, or live split? The choice hums, clear as light. What will you see? The mirror's just silver, but the crack's yours. You've known one you, real acts, true cores, yet fracture pulls, slow, sure. What makes you hold, or reshape? Is it truth, or just life's tug? The shards wait. What will you show? The poison of insecurity. A whisper hums in your ear, soft, sure, you're not enough, never will be. You shrug, but it seeps, cold and sly. When did doubt start poisoning you? The poison of insecurity hums, bitter as a sip. You're fine, you laugh, you do, but sometimes it stings, less than, off mark, small. Suppose you could hush it, feel full. Would you, or does the whisper feel right? The question bites, why does it stick so deep? The air's still, your chest tight. Insecurity's not just fear, it's a venom, tainting your shine, wins, loves, you. You try, push up, prove more, but the drip stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, doubting drives you, but dulls you too. Why's it so hard to rinse? Maybe it's not just you, it's them, loud with heights you can't climb. You could fight it, claim enough. But would you? You felt sure, a nod, a deed steadies, yet the poison lingers. The paradox twists, you want worth, but sip less instead. Why do some whispers bite so hard? Life's full of voices, some yours, some theirs. Insecurity's a drop, not your whole well. The room's quiet, the choice sharp. Will you drink, or spit it? The question lingers, what's worth feeling? Tomorrow's another hum, another doubt. Will you rise, or swallow? The choice hums, clear as air. What will you take? The whispers just sound, but the venom's yours. You've known full, real joys, true stands, yet insecurity pulls, slow, sure. What makes you sip, or spit out? Is it fear, or just self's brew? The hush waits. What will you hear? The desolation of broken promises. A note crumples in your hand, words once sure, stay, help, always, now ash, unkept. You hold it, and a void hums, they didn't mean it. When did trust turn to dust? The desolation of broken promises hums, dry as a crack. You're solid, you give, you hold, but sometimes it shatters, vows snap, faith falls, gone. Suppose you could rewind, make them keep it. Would you, or does the break feel real? The question cuts, why does unkept hurt so much? The notes torn, your grip loose. Broken promises aren't just lies, they're a wasteland, leaving you bare, plans, hopes, them. You try, trust again, build new, but the ash stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, losing them scars you, but wakes you too. Why's it so hard to toss? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, aching for words that stick. You could let it go, seek fresh ink. But would you? You felt kept, a promise held warms, yet the desolation lingers. The paradox twists, you need trust to live, but dread its snap. Why do some breaks echo so loud? Life's full of notes, some true, some dust. Broken's a mark, not your whole page. The hand still, the choice sharp. Will you keep, or sweep it? The question lingers, what's worth believing? Tomorrow's another word, another break. Will you hold, or move on? The choice hums, soft as paper. What will you write? The note's just trash, but the void's yours. You've known kept faith, real stays, true words, yet desolation pulls, slow, sure. What makes you cling, or cast off? Is it hope, or just pain's grip? The ash waits. What will you pen? The sorrow of unrequited love. A flower wilts in your hand, given with heart, but their eyes slide past, cool, blank. You hold it, and a pang hums, they don't feel it back. When did love start to ache alone? The sorrow of unrequited love hums, soft as a bruise. You're full, you care, you give, but sometimes it stings, your all meets their none, one-sided. Suppose you could win them, make it match. Would you, or does the wilt feel true? The question bites, why does one-way hurt so deep? The petals drop, your hope thin. Unrequited's not just no, it's a grief, blooming for nothing, hard, time, you. You try, pull back, love on, but the pang stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, loving lifts you, but sinks you too. Why's it so hard to let go? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, pouring into a cup that won't hold. You could crush it, walk free. But would you? You felt sparks, a glance, a hope flares, yet the sorrow lingers. The paradox twists, you need love to shine, but it dims you too. Why do some blooms fade so loud? Life's full of flowers, some kept, some lost. Unrequited's a thorn, not your whole stem. The hand still, the choice yours. Will you hold, or drop it? The question lingers, what's worth giving? Tomorrow's another bloom, another no. Will you love, or ease off? The choice hums, clear as air. What will you plant? The flower's just dust, but the pang's yours. You've known full hearts, real yes, true glows, yet sorrow pulls, slow, sure. What makes you pour, or pull back? Is it fire, or just love's ache? The wilt waits. What will you grow? The paradox of acceptance. A mirror glows in your dusk, showing you, flaws, wins, all there. You nod, but a hum twists, take it all, or fix it still. When did okay turn so tricky? The paradox of acceptance hums, soft as a sigh. You're real, you live, you see, but sometimes it pulls, love this you, or chase better, both tug. Suppose you could rest, fully fine. Would you, or does the tweak feel sharp? The question cuts, why does yes feel so hard? The glass shines, your eyes soft. Acceptance is not just peace, it's a dance, holding what is, scars, joys, you. You try, embrace, let be, but the pull stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, accepting frees you, but binds you too. Why's it so tough to stay? Maybe it's not just you, it's life, loud with shoulds you can't hush. You could push on, tweak more. But would you? You felt calm, a flaw, a laugh fits right, yet the paradox lingers. The paradox twists, you want now, but want next too. Why do some mirrors pull so deep? Life's full of glasses, some true, some bent. Acceptance is a breath, not your whole air. The dusk still, the choice yours. Will you nod or nudge it? The question lingers, what's worth loving? Tomorrow's another glow, another you. Will you take or tweak on? The choice hums, clear as light. What will you see? The mirror's just silver, but the tug's yours. You've known peace, real yeses, true fits, yet acceptance pulls, slow, sure. What makes you hold or shift it? Is it grace or just growth's edge? The glow waits. What will you claim? The abyss of self-reflection. A pool ripples in your mind, dark and deep, daring you to dive. Look at you, all of you. You peer in, and a hum rises. What's down there? When did staring inward feel so vast? The abyss of self-reflection hums, quiet as a call. You're aware, you think, you feel, but sometimes it pulls. Peel back the layers, face the raw. Suppose you could swim it, see it all. Would you plunge, or does the deep scare you still? The question tugs, why does your own depth loom? The water's still, your breath caught. Self-reflection's not just thought, it's a plunge, showing truths, soft spots, old lies, hidden you. You try, glance, ponder, but the abyss yawns, heavy. Here's the paradox, looking in grows you, but drowns you too. Why's it so tough to dive? Maybe it's not just the pool, it's you, afraid of what swims below. You could skim the top, stay light. But would you? You felt clarity, a dip, a truth surfaces, yet the deep calls back. The paradox twists, you need to know you, but dread the flood. Why do some depths echo so loud? Life's full of pools, some clear, some murk. Reflection's a ripple, not your whole sea. The mind still, the choice sharp. Will you wade, or turn away? The question lingers, what's worth finding? Tomorrow's another dip, another deep. Will you swim, or skim on? The choice hums, soft as water. What will you see? The pool's just thought, but the abyss is yours. You've known insights, real finds, true selves, yet reflection pulls, slow, vast. What makes you dive, or drift off? Is it courage, or just soul's dare? The ripple waits. What will you seek? The depths of existential insecurity. A horizon stretches before you, endless, no edge, just sky, just why. You stand, and a tremor hums. What's this all for? When did being start feeling so shaky? The depths of existential insecurity hum, wide as a doubt. You're here, you live, you do, but sometimes it quakes. No point, no anchor, just you. Suppose you could pin it, know it's sure. Would you grasp, or does the vast feel alive? The question gnaws, why does why rattle so much? The sky's open, your footing loose. Existential insecurity's not just wonder, it's a gulf, shaking your base, purpose, place, all wobble. You try, build, love, but the tremor stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, questioning frees you, but unmoors you too. Why's it so hard to stand firm? Maybe it's not just the void, it's you, needing a why that won't come. You could shrug it, live blind. But would you? You felt ground, a goal, a tie steadies, yet the depths call back. The paradox twists, you want meaning to hold, but thrive in its lack. Why do some whys sink so deep? Life's full of horizons, some near, some lost. Insecurity's a wave, not your whole shore. The wind still, the choice yours. Will you seek, or settle in? The question lingers, what's worth asking? Tomorrow's another sky, another shake. Will you stand, or sway free? The choice hums, clear as dawn. What will you chase? The horizon's just air, but the quake's yours. You've known sure steps, real days, true whys, yet insecurity pulls, slow, vast. What makes you grip, or let go? Is it fear, or just life's hum? The edge waits. What will you know? The shadow of past traumas. A scar hums on your arm, faint, from a fall long ago, yet it pulls, tugging it now. You touch it, and a shadow stirs, why's then still here? When did old hurt start shading today? The shadow of past traumas hums, dark as a veil. You're whole, you laugh, you mend, but sometimes it creeps, old pain flares, sharp in the calm. Suppose you could erase it, wipe the mark. Would you, or does the scar feel yours? The question digs, why does then cling so tight? The skin still, your pulse fast. Trauma's not just memory, it's a tint, coloring your now. Trust, joy, all shift. You try, move on, heal up, but the shadow stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, scars toughen you, but tender you too. Why's it so tough to shed? Maybe it's not just the fall, it's you, shaped by what broke. You could ignore it, paint it bright. But would you? You felt free, a day, a laugh lifts clear, yet the shadow lingers. The paradox twists, you need past to grow, but it traps you too. Why do some hurts shade so deep? Life's full of scars, some faint, some loud. Trauma's a mark, not your whole skin. The arm's quiet, the choice yours. Will you cover, or carry it? The question lingers, what's worth keeping? Tomorrow's another touch, another shade. Will you feel, or fade it? The choice hums, soft as flesh. What will you bear? The scars just line, but the shadow's yours. You've known clear days, real heals, true lights, yet trauma pulls, slow, sure. What makes you hold, or let go? Is it strength, or just pain's grip? The mark waits. What will you wear? The paradox of empathy. A cry echoes down your street, soft, theirs, not yours, but you feel it, deep and real. You pause, and a hum twists, why does their pain hit so hard? When did caring start cutting both ways? The paradox of empathy hums, warm as a pang. You're kind, you hear, you help, but sometimes it pulls, their hurt floods you, takes your air. Suppose you could shut it, feel just you. Would you, or does the echo feel right? The question tugs, why does their load weigh you too? The street's still, your heart loud. Empathy's not just care, it's a bridge, linking their ache to yours, tears, fears, all flow. You try, lift, soothe, but the flood stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, feeling them heals you, but hurts you too. Why's it so tough to pull back? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, wired to carry what's not yours. You could close off, stay dry. But would you? You felt light, a shared cry, a hand binds, yet the paradox lingers. The paradox twists, you need empathy to connect, but it drowns you too. Why do some cries sink so deep? Life's full of echoes, some soft, some sharp. Empathy's a thread, not your whole weave. The air's quiet, the choice yours. Will you feel, or fence it? The question lingers, what's worth bearing? Tomorrow's another cry, another flood. Will you lean, or lock out? The choice hums, clear as sound. What will you take? The cry's just air, but the pang's yours. You've known bonds, real shares, true lifts, yet empathy pulls, slow, sure. What makes you feel, or shut off? Is it love, or just heart's dare? The street waits. What will you hear? The erosion of optimism. A dawn breaks over your hill, pink and fresh, but your lips hum, it'll gray, it always does. You watch, and a fade stirs, when did bright turn dim? The erosion of optimism hums, slow as a dusk. You're hopeful, you plan, you cheer, but sometimes it wears. Good fades, hard stays, why bet on sun? Suppose you could hold it, keep the glow. Would you, or does the gray feel wise? The question digs, why does hope slip so fast? The hill's still, your eyes flat. Optimism's not just light, it's a rock, crumbling under blows, loss, grind, life. You try, look up, wish on, but the fade grows, heavy. Here's the paradox, letting go eases you, but dulls you too. Why's it so tough to shine? Maybe it's not just time, it's you, chipped by what didn't hold. You could force it, paint it pink. But would you? You felt dawn, a win, a laugh sparks, yet the erosion lingers. The paradox twists, you want bright to last, but brace for dusk. Why do some rays dim so deep? Life's full of hills, some gold, some ash. Optimism's a gleam, not your whole sky. The air's quiet, the choice yours. Will you gleam, or let it gray? The question lingers, what's worth hoping? Tomorrow's another dawn, another fade. Will you rise, or sink low? The choice hums, soft as light. What will you see? The hill's just earth, but the fade's yours. You've known highs, real joys, true suns, yet erosion pulls, slow, sure. What makes you glow, or give in? Is it faith, or just life's wear? The pink waits. What will you chase? The haunting of memory. A photo curls in your drawer, edges worn, a day, a face, a then that won't stay put. You lift it, and a hum drifts, why's it back again? When did past start creeping in? The haunting of memory hums, faint as a breeze. You're forward, you live, you plan, but sometimes it clings, old scenes play, loud in the quiet. Suppose you could burn it, clear the air. Would you, or does the curl feel yours? The question tugs, why does then haunt so much? The drawer's still, your fingers slow. Memory's not just recall, it's a specter, drifting through now, smiles, stings, all return. You try, let go, look on, but the hum stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, holding it warms you, but chills you too. Why's it so tough to shut? Maybe it's not just the photo, it's you, tied to what shaped you then. You could tuck it, move free. But would you? You felt peace, a new day, a fresh start clears, yet the haunting lingers. The paradox twists, you need then to know, but it traps you too. Why do some shots glow so loud? Life's full of drawers, some full, some bare. Memory's a thread, not your whole weave. The wood's quiet, the choice yours. Will you keep, or cut loose? The question lingers, what's worth seeing? Tomorrow's another curl, another then. Will you hold, or let fade? The choice hums, soft as dust. What will you save? The photo's just paper, but the hum's yours. You've known now, real days, true moves, yet memory pulls, slow, sure. What makes you cling, or close it? Is it love, or just past's grip? The edge waits. What will you frame? The vortex of self-loathing. A wind spins in your chest, cold, fast, swirling your less, always less. You stand, but it pulls, a spiral down. When did you start falling inward? The vortex of self-loathing hums, tight as a whirl. You're good, you do, you smile, but sometimes it sucks. You're wrong, you're small, you fail. Suppose you could still it, rise up. Would you, or does the spin feel true? The question digs, why does hate swirl so deep? The wind's loud, your core caught. Self-loathing's not just sad, it's a storm, dragging you in, flaws, slips, all spin. You try, push out, prove worth, but the vortex stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, hating you stings, but holds you too. Why's it so tough to climb? Maybe it's not just you, it's life, loud with mirrors you can't match. You could fight it, break free. But would you? You felt calm, a deed, a nod lifts, yet the whirl returns. The paradox twists, you want love, but feed the storm. Why do some gusts pull so hard? Life's full of winds, some lift, some sink. Self-loathing's a gust, not your whole breeze. The chest still, the choice yours. Will you spin, or step out? The question lingers, what's worth holding? Tomorrow's another whirl, another down. Will you rise, or ride it? The choice hums, clear as air. What will you feel? The wind's just breath, but the storm's yours. You've known highs, real winds, true calms, yet loathing pulls, slow, sure. What makes you spin, or stand firm? Is it truth, or just heart's churn? The swirl waits. What will you break? The tyranny of the inner critic. A voice crackles in your head, sharp, sure, you're off, you're weak, try harder. You work, but it snaps, loud and close. When did your mind turn so harsh? The tyranny of the inner critic hums, tight as a whip. You're strong, you build, you strive, but sometimes it lashes, not enough, not right, redo. Suppose you could mute it, hear soft. Would you, or does the snap feel yours? The question tugs, why does it rule so hard? The voice is shrill, your hands tense. The critic's not just doubt, it's a king, ruling your moves, steps, words, all judged. You try, do more, fight back, but the lash stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, it sharpens you, but scars you too. Why's it so tough to hush? Maybe it's not just noise, it's you, craving perfect it won't give. You could defy it, let it fade. But would you? You felt free, a win. A pause quiets, yet the tyrant returns. The paradox twists. You need push to grow, but it breaks you too. Why do some snaps hit so deep? Life's full of voices, some kind, some cruel. The critic's a hum, not your whole tune. The head still, the choice yours. Will you bow, or break it? The question lingers, what's worth hearing? Tomorrow's another snap, another rule. Will you heed, or hush it? The choice hums, soft as thought. What will you take? The voice is just air, but the whip's yours. You've known ease, real deeds, true quiets, yet the critic pulls, slow, sure. What makes you bend, or rise up? Is it drive, or just mind's reign? The crack waits. What will you say? The paradox of freedom and choice. A field yawns before you, wide, no fence, go left, right, anywhere, all yours. You step, and a hum spins, too many ways, too free. When did choice start tying knots? The paradox of freedom and choice hums, vast as a maze. You're bold, you pick, you roam, but sometimes it chokes, every path's open, none sure. Suppose you had one road, clear cut. Would you take, or does the field feel alive? The question digs, why does free feel so tight? The grass sways, your feet stuck. Freedom's not just space, it's a flood, drowning you in picks, here, there, what now? You try, move, choose, but the vastness pulls, heavy. Here's the paradox, options lift you, but bind you too. Why's it so tough to walk? Maybe it's not just the field, it's you, lost without a line to trace. You could pick blind, go anywhere. But would you? You felt sure, a turn, a yes flows free, yet the paradox lingers. The paradox twists, you need choice to be, but it stalls you too. Why do some fields stretch so loud? Life's full of yards, some small, some wild. Freedom's a gust, not your whole wind. The air's still, the choice yours. Will you run, or root down? The question lingers, what's worth picking? Tomorrow's another field, another wide. Will you roam, or pause here? The choice hums, clear as sky. What will you take? The field's just earth, but the knot's yours. You've known free steps, real paths, true picks, yet freedom pulls, slow, sure. What makes you move, or freeze up? Is it joy, or just choice's weight? The vast waits. What will you cross? The dilemma of forgiveness. A stone sits in your palm, rough, from a wrong they carved, hurt, sharp, theirs. You hold it, and a hum twists, drop it, or keep it close. When did letting go turn so tangled? The dilemma of forgiveness hums, hard as a choice. You're fair, you heal, you mend, but sometimes it pulls, their fault, your pain, what now? Suppose you could erase it, feel light. Would you, or does the stone feel just? The question tugs, why does pardon ache so much? The rock's cold, your grip firm. Forgiveness is not just peace, it's a fork, splitting you, hold tight, or release them. You try, you soften, move, but the weight stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, forgiving frees you, but costs you too. Why's it so tough to drop? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, clutching hurt to stay right. You could keep it, nurse the edge. But would you? You felt calm, a let go, a breath eases, yet the dilemma lingers. The paradox twists, you want free, but need the stone too. Why do some wrongs grip so deep? Life's full of stones, some tossed, some held. Forgiveness is a shift, not your whole load. The hand still, the choice yours. Will you clutch, or cast it? The question lingers, what's worth holding? Tomorrow's another wrong, another rock. Will you keep, or let fly? The choice hums, soft as dirt. What will you bear? The stone's just rock, but the ache's yours. You've known peace, real drops, true lifts, yet dilemma pulls, slow, sure. What makes you hold, or release it? Is it grace, or just pain's tie? The weight waits. What will you loose? The burden of unresolved conflict. A knot tightens in your throat, tangled from a clash, words unsaid, a fight left raw. You swallow, but it hums, pressing down like a stone. When did silence start weighing so much? The burden of unresolved conflict hums, thick as a rope. You're calm, you talk, you mend, but sometimes it festers, old spats linger, sharp in the quiet. Suppose you could untie it, clear the air. Would you reach, or does the knot feel earned? The question digs, why does undone ache so deep? The throat's still, your chest heavy. Conflict's not just noise, it's a load, piling beneath, grudges, hurts, all stack up. You try, let go, move on, but the tangle pulls, heavy. Here's the paradox, leaving it rests you, but gnaws you too. Why's it so tough to cut loose? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, holding tight to what's unresolved. You could face it, unravel the mess. But would you? You've felt peace, a word, a fix lightens, yet the burden lingers. The paradox twists, you want calm, but clutch the fray. Why do some knots tie so deep? Life's full of threads, some loose, some tight. Conflict's a snag, not your whole weave. The air's quiet, the choice yours. Will you pull, or let it sit? The question lingers, what's worth mending? Tomorrow's another tangle, another weight. Will you untie, or bear it? The choice hums, soft as breath. What will you free? The knot's just words, but the load's yours. You've known clear, real talks, true calms, yet conflict pulls, slow, sure. What makes you hold, or release it? Is it pride, or just hurt's grip? The stone waits. What will you lift? The stains of hypocrisy. A cloak drapes over your shoulders, clean white, your words, your stance, all pure. Then a hum stains it, you don't match, not quite. When did your mask start showing spots? The stains of hypocrisy hum, sharp as a smear. You're true, you mean, you act, but sometimes it slips, you preach one, live another, off-key. Suppose you could wash it, align it all. Would you scrub, or does the stain feel worn? The question tugs, why does mismatch sting so much? The cloak's still, your hands tense. Hypocrisy's not just lies, it's a mark, spotting your shine, ideals clash, deeds falter. You try, hold high, stay straight, but the hum grows, heavy. Here's the paradox, pointing out stains dirties you, but hides you too. Why's it so tough to match? Maybe it's not just the gap, it's you, dodging the mirror's glare. You could shed it, live bare. But would you? You felt sink, a deed, a word fits right, yet the stains linger. The paradox twists, you want pure, but where the spots? Why do some flaws show so loud? Life's full of cloaks, some bright, some patched. Hypocrisy's a thread, not your whole cloth. The room's quiet, the choice yours. Will you wear, or wash it? The question lingers, what's worth showing? Tomorrow's another cloak, another spot. Will you align, or let it be? The choice hums, clear as light. What will you bear? The cloak's just cloth, but the stain's yours. You've known true, real acts, pure says, yet hypocrisy pulls, slow, sure. What makes you cloak, or come clean? Is it shame, or just ease's dye? The white waits. What will you wear? The solitude of success. A crown glints on your head, one hard work wins, all yours. You wear it, but a hum drifts, no one's near, just you up here. When did high turn so alone? The solitude of success hums, cold as a peak. You're proud, you climb, you shine, but sometimes it isolates, the top's yours, but empty, no hands. Suppose you could share it, bring them up. Would you call, or does the crown feel best solo? The question digs, why does wind leave you lone? The crown's firm, your view wide. Success is not just gain, it's a perch, lifting you from friends, ties, all fade below. You try, reach down, stay close, but the height pulls, heavy. Here's the paradox, rising sets you free, but cuts you off too. Why's it so tough to bridge? Maybe it's not just the top, it's you, guarding what no one gets. You could step off, join the crowd. But would you? You've felt joy, a nod, a cheer shares it, yet the solitude lingers. The paradox twists, you need high to be, but miss low too. Why do some peaks echo so deep? Life's full of crowns, some shared, some yours. Success is a glow, not your whole light. The air's still, the choice sharp. Will you reign, or reach out? The question lingers, what's worth climbing? Tomorrow's another win, another perch. Will you stand, or step down? The choice hums, soft as wind. What will you hold? The crown's just gold, but the loan's yours. You've known close, real ties, true cheers, yet solitude pulls, slow, sure. What makes you stay, or seek them? Is it pride, or just wind's cost? The peak waits. What will you share? The irreversible flow of time. A river rushes past your feet, fast, no pause, days slip, no grabbing back. You watch, and a hum swells, it's gone, all gone. When did now turn so fleeting? The irreversible flow of time hums, swift as a stream. You're here, you act, you live, but sometimes it races, moments vanish, no redo, just next. Suppose you could damn it, hold one then. Would you clutch, or does the rush feel real? The question tugs, why does gone sting so sharp? The water's cold, you're standstill. Time's not just clocks, it's a current, pulling all, laughs, tears, you away. You try ye savor, plan, but the flow cuts, heavy. Here's the paradox, losing it moves you, but loses you too. Why's it so tough to swim? Maybe it's not just the rush, it's you, chasing what's already downstream. You could let it go, ride the wave. But would you? You felt full, now, a joy holds tight, yet the flow lingers. The paradox twists, you need time to be, but can't keep it. Why do some currents pull so deep? Life's full of rivers, some slow, some wild. Time's a splash, not your whole sea. The bank's quiet, the choice yours. Will you fight, or float on? The question lingers, what's worth catching? Tomorrow's another rush, another gone. Will you grab, or let it run? The choice hums, clear as water. What will you save? The river's just wet, but the sting's yours. You've known now's, real joys, true holds, yet time pulls, slow, sure. What makes you chase, or ease off? Is it hope, or just life's sweep? The flow waits. What will you ride? The paradox of sacrifice. A flame flickers in your palm, warm, yours, give it up, and they thrive, you dim. You hold it, and a hum twists, keep or pass, both burn. When did giving start splitting you? The paradox of sacrifice hums, hot as a choice. You're big, you share, you rise, but sometimes it tears, your light for theirs, one fades. Suppose you could keep it, no loss. Would you hold, or does the give feel true? The question digs, why does loss glow so much? The flame's soft, your hand steady. Sacrifice is not just gift, it's a trade, cutting you for them, dreams, time, you. You try, balance, weigh, but the split stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, giving lifts you, but chars you too. Why's it so tough to choose? Maybe it's not just the flame, it's you, needing both to shine and to serve. You could snuff it, stay whole. But would you? You felt high, a pass, a help sparks, yet the paradox lingers. The paradox twists, you want self, but crave their light too. Why do some flames burn so deep? Life's full of fires, some yours, some shared. Sacrifice is a spark, not your whole blaze. The palm's still, the choice sharp. Will you keep, or let it go? The question lingers, what's worth burning? Tomorrow's another flame, another split. Will you hold, or hand off? The choice hums, clear as heat. What will you give? The flame's just fire, but the split's yours. You've known full glows, real shares, true lifts, yet sacrifice pulls, slow, sure. What makes you keep, or pass it? Is it love, or just costs pull? The heat waits. What will you light? The weight of existential questions. A star pulses overhead, tiny, vast, and a hum swells. Why this? Why me? Why it all? You gaze, and it presses, heavy as sky. When did wondering turn so thick? The weight of existential questions hums, deep as a pull. You're grounded, you live, you laugh, but sometimes it looms, big wise pile, no answers stick. Suppose you could solve it, know it sure. Would you seek, or does the weight feel alive? The question tugs. Why does why weigh so much? The night's still, your mind loud. Questions aren't just thoughts, they're a load, stacking up, point, place, all pressed down. You try, shrug, do, but the hum stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, asking grows you, but sinks you too. Why's it so tough to drop? Maybe it's not just the stars, it's you, needing a why to breathe. You could let it fade, live light. But would you? You felt hints, a day, a tie hints why, yet the weight lingers. The paradox twists, you need wonder to rise, but it buries you too. Why do some whys glow so deep? Life's full of skies, some clear, some vast. Questions are a beam, not your whole night. The air's quiet, the choice yours. Will you ask, or ease off? The question lingers, what's worth knowing? Tomorrow's another star, another why. Will you chase, or let it be? The choice hums, soft as dark. What will you seek? The stars just light, but the load's yours. You've known days, real joys, true whys, yet questions pull, slow, sure. What makes you dig, or drift off? Is it quest, or just mind's hum? The pulse waits. What will you weigh? The abyss of disillusionment. A lantern dims in your grip, once bright, ideals high, world kind, all true. Now it hums, it's not, it's gray, it's less. When did faith start falling apart? The abyss of disillusionment hums, cold as a drop. You're real, you hope, you trust, but sometimes it cracks, dreams clash, truth grinds, light fades. Suppose you could relight it, keep the glow. Would you spark, or does the dim feel wise? The question digs, why does real hurt so much? The lantern's faint, your hand still. Disillusionment's not just doubt, it's a pit, swallowing shine, good, fair, all tarnish. You try, hold on, re-see, but the abyss grows, heavy. Here's the paradox, seeing clear frees you, but darkens you too. Why's it so tough to climb? Maybe it's not just the world, it's you, losing what held you up. You could let it die, live gray. But would you? You felt glints, a truth, a wind rekindles, yet the dim lingers. The paradox twists, you need light to live, but see dark too well. Why do some fall sink so deep? Life's full of lanterns, some bright, some low. Disillusionment's a shade, not your whole glow. The grip's quiet, the choice sharp. Will you fan, or let it fade? The question lingers, what's worth believing? Tomorrow's another light, another gray. Will you shine, or sink in? The choice hums, soft as dusk. What will you hold? The lantern's just glass, but the drop's yours. You've known sparks, real hopes, true seas, yet abyss pulls, slow, sure. What makes you light, or let go? Is it fight, or just life's hue? The dim waits. What will you see? The echo of forgotten voices. A wind whispers through your yard, carrying names, old friends, lost kin, voices gone quiet. You listen, and a hum fades, they're not heard, not now. When did silence start speaking so loud? The echo of forgotten voices hums, faint as a breeze. You're present, you talk, you link, but sometimes it drifts, those once near, now dust, still call. Suppose you could shout back, wake them up. Would you cry, or does the quiet feel set? The question tugs, why do lost ones linger? The wind's soft, your ears sharp. Forgotten's not just gone, it's a sound, ringing in gaps, laughs, lessons, all fade. You try, move on, here now, but the echo stays, heavy. Here's the paradox, their silence shapes you, but mutes you too. Why's it so tough to hush? Maybe it's not just them, it's you, holding threads time cut loose. You could let it pass, live loud. But would you? You felt them, a memory, a tone rings true, yet the echo lingers. The paradox twists, you need now to thrive, but here then too. Why do some whispers blow so deep? Life's full of winds, some fresh, some old. Echoes are a gust, not your whole air. The yard's still, the choice yours. Will you heed, or let it fade? The question lingers, what's worth hearing? Tomorrow's another breeze, another voice. Will you catch, or ease off? The choice hums, clear as sky. What will you keep? The wind's just breath, but the call's yours. You've known live sounds, real talks, true nows, yet echoes pull, slow, sure. What makes you hear, or hush it? Is it love, or just past's hum? The whisper waits. What will you say? The curse of unanswered questions. A riddle hums in your palm, scratched rough, no end, no solve, just why. You turn it, and a hum twists, will it ever clear? When did not knowing start cursing you? The curse of unanswered questions hums, tight as a knot. You're sharp, you seek, you dig, but sometimes it sticks. Wise pile, no keys fit, all tease. Suppose you could crack it, find the out. Would you hunt, or does the riddle feel yours? The question digs, why does no answer bind so much? The palm still, your mind fast. Unanswered's not just blank, it's a hex, looping you back. Truths, fates, all hang. You try, guess, let go, but the knot pulls, heavy. Here's the paradox, seeking lifts you, but traps you too. Why's it so tough to drop? Maybe it's not just the why, it's you, hooked on a solve that won't land. You could toss it, live free. But would you? You felt close, an inkling, a hint nears, yet the curse lingers. The paradox twists, you need know to grow, but it stalls you too. Why do some whys tie so deep? Life's full of riddles, some loose, some locked. Questions are a thread, not your whole weave. The hand's quiet, the choice sharp. Will you chase, or cut it? The question lingers, what's worth solving? Tomorrow's another why, another knot. Will you dig, or ease off? The choice hums, soft as air. What will you seek? The riddles just scratch, but the bind's yours. You've known hints, real clues, true nears, yet the curse pulls, slow, sure. What makes you hunt, or let go? Is it quest, or just mind's grip? The twist waits. What will you crack? The endless loop of regret. A wheel spins in your head, creaking, old choices, missed shots, round and round. You sit, and a hum loops. What if, why not, again? When did then start circling now? The endless loop of regret hums, tight as a track. You're on, you live, you learn, but sometimes it rolls. Past picks haunt, no stop, just spin. Suppose you could break it, step off clean. Would you jump, or does the wheel feel yours? The question tugs, why does old keep running? The creak's loud, your thoughts caught. Regret's not just sorry, it's a cycle, replaying you, turns skipped, words held, all rerun. You try, move up, let be, but the loop pulls, heavy. Here's the paradox, spinning traps you, but teaches you too. Why's it so tough to halt? Maybe it's not just the choice, it's you, stuck on a you that didn't act. You could smash it, start fresh. But would you? You felt free, a day, a shift breaks loose, yet the loop lingers. The paradox twists, you need past to grow, but it chains you too. Why do some turns roll so deep? Life's full of wheels, some fast, some stuck. Regret's a turn, not your whole ride. The head's still, the choice sharp. Will you spin, or step down? The question lingers, what's worth stopping? Tomorrow's another loop, another then. Will you ride, or break free? The choice hums, clear as sound. What will you turn? The wheel's just thought, but the track's yours. You've known new real nows, true shifts, yet regret pulls, slow, sure. What makes you roll, or leap off? Is it guilt, or just past's hum? The creak waits. What will you end?